I got Lagarde comments now, but good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready here for the day. It's actually a pretty wild day. You had ECB rate cut, Trump talking about firing Jerome Powell, and honestly, I think you're going to get a lot more drama on that because it was interesting. And then you had an update on Japan. I don't think it was all of the details. I think we're missing a little bit more. And then you heard from China. Literally, Xi Jinping made comments from Cambodia today, and then he also was talking about meeting up with NVIDIA's CEO, and then I think there's one more headline I'm missing. So you got a lot of different things today. It should be pretty wild, but Chad Adonia, we got about 1 minute until the bell. Oh, Adonia, I'm on the wrong Chad. I was like, damn, you guys are quiet today. I was like, for a couple thousand of you, you're pretty quiet. Oh, there it is. But yeah, 15 seconds. Oh man, I got to send out my plays. All right, well, if anything, I would just watch out Netflix, Tesla, XLP, and then watch all those healthcare names. That one will be big. All right, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. Oh, yeah, I need to show you guys the charts. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. Okay, I put in some dumb orders. Some stuff's not even open. Interesting. So, yeah, a couple of the plays that moved a lot, they're not even moving. Apple's moving around. Schwab CEO sees clients consolidating assets. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the stream alert didn't send. Hold on. Please hold while we connect your call. All right. Yeah, UNH and every healthcare, they did bad. And then Eli Lilly, there's a couple that did good with it, but most of them, like NVO's down. And then I think, who else? VKTX, HIMS, all of them. Yeah, Baba's up 4. I mean, dude, I don't think we realized it. I have another chart to show you, but do you realize that, like, yesterday, there was a really positive China rumor? You could call it a back channel, but people were discussing that, and I think it's pretty important. All right, I'm waiting for a couple of option chains to open. Watch out TSM, too. Again, they had good earnings here. I just don't know how it's going to work. United Health sinks 18, most since March 2020. Ay. CP again. Watch oil and energy. I think, again, it's been kind of wild. UNH open. Okay, that's open. Eli Lilly's closed. But yeah, you have UNH open. Hold on, I'm shopping. Still mad expensive. There's a couple of cheap ones. Still early. Intel's down 1.5 after TSM. Pfizer. Again, Pfizer should be down because of the Eli Lilly stuff, but they're moving. But yeah, remember, they went down on sold off on that bad news, and then Eli Lilly comes in with the good news. Boeing is up 1.4. Not bad at all. Apple's on the low. NVIDIA's red. I mean, look at the level 2. Let's take note. Yeah, 5288. We either got to get to this 53 and we'll play those other levels. Otherwise, like 5280 down to like 5220 and then 5200. Those will be the levels. All right. Eli Lilly's open now. No way. Bro, some of these options just went up 8,000%. This makes no sense. Yeah, be careful. Did that fill? All right, I found a dumbass play. Cheap one. Dumb because it's really, really far out the money, but I found a play that did not go up in value, which is weird. But then again, that means it's more likely to not increase in value if it keeps going up. Google should be in like a week. UNH falls 17. Yeah, this one's nuts. All right, and then Pfizer's going. Nvidia's down. Oh, dude, Tesla, I whiffed on those. PayPal's on the high. You guys know that one came back to break even. So I don't know. I remember in the beginning of the year I was looking at the long term. Some of you guys were asking me about PayPal when I was up on it like 40%. But if you want PayPal now, it's literally like break even. If that was something that your heart was desiring. Hey, Racco! The page! Wow! Oh, happy Friday, Junior. Peach Nation. Horn. So I'm talking about, bright and early, even as Boeing takes off. I know, bro. And then NVO. Let's go, Bradley Frizzle. Oh, very much consistency. They don't know. All right, man. It's crazy. Healthcare names should be down, but I'm pretty sure they're climbing. Yeah, look, XLV, even with UNH, Humana, Elevance, they're all kind of recovering there. Target on the high, too. NVO is down because Eli Lilly had good news there. Wow. So Eli Lilly, remember, all of NVO, when we bought NVO, it was because they had bad weight loss trials. You guys remember that? So now Eli Lilly, they're coming out and their trials are hitting. They even got a pill. Everything they're doing is working out great. So that's why they went down. Yeah, I put on Elevance because I put up XLV, UNH, and Humana before. You may have missed it. But yeah, they're about to go green. I think that's weird considering how bad UNH is. The Hertz 2,000%. Ah! Pizza, we talked about that one yesterday. Yang on the high. So China's starting to come down. Again, China was doing good in the morning. Intel on the low. Oh, I didn't put a date on that one. Apparently, Trump is live right now. You may be on YouTube seeing one of those fake ones. But we could check here in a little bit, but I shouldn't be right now. ECB Lagarde, focus on opportunities. Amazon dump in. Healthcare, watch out for those. I haven't looked at staples. And then we got to talk about the the expiration. I got some cool things to show you. would I add Intel at these prices? I would be buying a lot right now if I had cash. If I didn't have cash, I would be doing what I'm doing. So I like Intel a lot. I think Pfizer, that was the one I'm most tempted to grab. Otherwise, any of those names that we've kind of been saying for like 3 months, they're all fire. I'm a big fan. We did have a talk the other day on quality. So make sure, Nike, that's the other one. Oh, I meant to type that on my chart. Tesla on the low. Dude, well, Powell we could talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about Powell, or do you want to talk about the option expiration? Because I have two big things. Both of them are, I think, very important. MSTR, big candle. It's my birthday, David! All right, Powell. So here's the big problem with Powell. I don't know if people get this. I get it because not only have I watched a lot of Powell, I just remember freaking out. You guys remember, not yesterday, but you remember the other Powell right before that? I started freaking out. Why? Because I told you, I was like, bro, there's no way this is going to sound bullish. It can't sound bullish. And then Powell comes on, and then Powell, out of nowhere, he becomes a Republican. And he was like, yeah, consumer sentiment doesn't matter. And then he just comes in, and he totally like flip-flops. It surprised a lot of people. It looked like Powell was kind of playing ball. That's why I was like, okay, maybe they don't fire Powell, right? Now, fast forward to yesterday, bro, he comes out and he did the exact opposite of that. So he didn't say much, but the market got disappointed that he did not kind of assure them that he has their back. Powell literally said, you're on your own, buddy. He really did. He did not reassure that in any way, but his attitude, because you got to realize, last time we heard Powell, he was saying consumer sentiment is an outlier. This time, he just said, well, if the sentiment keeps going up, well, then it's our job to handle this. That's a way different than ignore it. And just he went from playing ball to not, and now, but this is the other part. I think the bond market's still fucked up because pretty much what Donald Trump said, the wording, terminate Powell, the bond market should have broke today to a degree. Yields should have skyrocketed. That's not a good statement. But people are saying, oh, well, maybe they're thinking it's noise. No, I think the bond market just genuinely is having trouble reacting to genuine shit happening right now. But long story short, man, Powell and this whole firing thing, I definitely think the tension got ratcheted up because he just flip-flopped after flip-flopping. And if you don't realize that, I think now it's going to make this whole, is Powell riding it out? It's going to get a lot more interesting. But I don't think he's going to fire Powell, but now the beef is big. Or at the end of the day, Powell, I don't think you could read the guy right now. He is, depending on his audience, he's going to say what they want to hear. It's very, very odd. So that was the first part. So now let me give you the second part. Are you ready? So this is why even today, you guys realize people are on holiday. That's why this whole week has kind of been slow. Just there's no money right now in the market. It's kind of odd. So here's one chart to show you. Literally single stock equity volume is one of the highest it's ever been. But then the futures liquidity, how much it takes to move the futures, it's one of the lowest ever. So it's very weird because you're getting literal volume, but then liquidity is clapped. Yo, MSTR is still climbing. Remember whoever called that out, XLP. You're back up to the high. BX president says admin pushing to make deals with major trading partners, a good sign. Okay, that was chart number 1. Here's chart number 2. So this is the other thing about today. Today is an expiration, but it's actually not that big. So the March expiration, that represented a way bigger percentage of equity, like how much it was worth and how many dollars it represented. Today's expiration is actually, over the last like 5 or 6, it's the second lowest. So today doesn't have that much on that. That's good and bad. That means you may either get a big move, or if there's not a move, that would make a decent amount of sense. And I think, is this my favorite one? No. This is just showing you calls and puts are pretty much equal. So you don't really have it on 0 days. So there's no outsized leaning. And now, are you ready for my favorite one? SPY's coming down, back to VWAP. NVIDIA flushing and Broadcom. Yeah, NVIDIA's down too. Okay, making sure. I'm just looking around. So, here's my favorite one now. Are you ready? I think you could even see the Josh effect on the chart. Small trades in SPY options. The percentage of trades that are 1 lot or lower on the rise. So this literally means just over 20% of SPY options are small traders, only going with 1 contract. That's great. Again, even when we stopped trading options a little bit during the 22 to 23, 1 lot, just 1 lot options. So I love it, and that's a good strategy. Because like I'm saying now, this wasn't as popular prior, and then it started rocketing. There was that period where the popularity dropped, but now, I mean, I love this strategy in this market. Like I'm telling you, even then, I didn't have as good as a week as I did the other ones, but if you keep them small and you're going really small on all of them, that's it. Ta-da! No, 1 lot, like 100 is what an option represents, but this is saying just 1 option, small trades. So like 20%. So 1 out of every 5 SPY options, someone's only buying 1 of them. Okay, you're coming down. Now you're back to low. I swear 2 minutes ago, right before we started this, it was just hitting that high. MLPA and Abivi. Shit. Eli Lilly's still holding. And then NVL. Japan, there was Japan. It was just I don't think it's a good sign. People took it good, but they literally did meet, but they just no currency talks. They said they're looking for a trade deal, and then they're going to meet again, but technically, yeah, that's it. There wasn't a DXF on the high. But technically, like, it wasn't like a big, like there wasn't like a huge event. I think there should have been a lot more. And I think that's why it's weird, because I even think the bond market is not reflecting a lot of things, but it's like everybody wanted that, and then it just kind of just slipped through, and now we're on to Italy, and people took it positively, but I think there's a lot of holes. DXF, whatever this is, pop in, SPY back on VWAP after hitting the low. I know, it's very slow. It should be. I mean, again, people are on holiday. There is an expiration, but I do have a feeling people are going home. I don't think there's going to be that much activity. But you never know. The weird part is that, like, some of these days where the expirations are kind of smaller, those are the days you get big moves. I mean, long story short, there's a higher likelihood that somebody gets out under positioned on a big move today. But if that doesn't happen, then we're going to do nothing. That's it. Yeah, ACHR. Let's see, Hams. So Hams came back up a little bit. They reacted to Eli Lilly. Then SPY right back up. Bro, this is so sad. I want long term, bro. I really want to buy long term. I just want more cash, though. Cannot chase two competing goals at the same time. Okay, right back up. Yeah, even Abivi, some of you guys really liked it there. I mean, if everything ever launched and we can't buy anything and that goes lower, I'd be there. Okay, SPY ripping. Would I ever sell a property to increase cash for the long term? Yes and no. That's a very interesting question because I sell houses. I don't keep them, not all the time. But I would make sure you had you'd have to have a really good plan. Usually I'm selling stock to get a house, but there is times where if there's I don't know, if Meta ever came back down to $90, I mean, I might want to do it, but it just all depends. But in a weird way, you got to think about it. You're going from a liquid, safer asset to a highly liquid, higher risk asset. So pretty much, I mean, you could lose $100K on stocks way faster than you can on real estate, and then vice versa in terms of making it. It's literally the definition of put the house on it. Yeah, So you better have something, because I like that logic. I mean, whether I had a house or stock, if I ever found a house and it was worth it, I'm selling everything and buying it. And vice versa. But those opportunities don't happen all the time. And then look at bonds. Bro, just like yesterday. Remember yesterday? You just randomly hit that point. Or was that 2 days ago? I think it was 2 days ago. We hit that point and then just took off. So right now it flipped. So something from here, bonds just started going down and then market doing its own thing. Very interesting. Good morning, 7. How you living, baby? Happy Friday, Junior. All right, Apple's on the high. I do like FedEx. I like UPS, but I think FedEx is a better company. I think they're managed better. UPS is a little bit more riskier just with how they've underperformed in their financials. But I like both of them. I like so much shit right now, bro. It's terrible. But I haven't bought anything. You guys, I hope you realize that. That's the thing that makes it so weird. So make sure my words don't distract you, because even though you're hearing me and I'm telling you all of this stuff, I haven't bought anything, dude. You are watching Josh. I just sat here. So I've not bought anything in 3 months. Oh yeah, Netflix has earnings today. The Hertz thing, I don't know. All I know is I made 100% and I could have had 2,000. Yeah, that's about it though. That's all I got, bro. All I got. I have 4% cash. Oh man. But then we're halfway done, bro. I'm almost So now what? I'll be at like 6, or I'll be at like 5.8 or something. SPY ripping, not really like aggressive, but you're melting up, and then the high ticker, everything flashing looks good. How come you want to raise cash when you have a monthly deposit? So I just want to talk about the topic, so I'll repeat it because I think it might help somebody who hasn't understood it yet. But what I've been talking about this whole entire year and even end of last year is that we got ahead. You know, my BABA is up 50%. It was just up 120%. You know, we have names that we picked up very good. Again, we were not buying NVIDIA. We bought Meta. And we bought other names, and we were stacking those up early. D.R. Horton, Blackstone president, says volatility may slow any recovery in real estate. But we went hard on value, and we built up our dividends very, very large, and we got ahead. That's why at the beginning of this year, we were outperforming by 10%. Even as the market is down right now, I'm back to break even on the year, believe it or not. It's crazy. But that was as a result of how we set up our portfolio. But to get what we got, it required using all of our cash, almost every investment. So I was buying almost like a maniac for the last year and a half. Was pretty much zero break. Maybe a 1 month break here and there. So that's how we were able to build our portfolio, and it worked out well. But now, since the beginning of the year till even now, my cash balance is extremely low. So why I am not buying things, it's not because I don't want to buy. It's because when I look at my portfolio, I am underweight on cash. I am overweight on equities. So it would be prudent if I'm already leading, I'm already up. If I have lack of cash, it would be a prudent idea to start building up the cash right now and say no to these things that I want to buy, because if I buy and my cash goes lower, if something else happens, I will not be prepared to handle it because I don't have a lot of cash. And at this rate of my savings, I could save for a whole entire year, and now the account has grown so much, we would still not have 20% cash, or we won't even hit the threshold. I don't even think I'll have 10%. I'll have just above it, I think. So we'll see, but that's the whole logic of why I'm not buying. That's why I really believe you got to lock in right now. I think I could help you out with some things. And if you hear me, if you have high cash, you should be buying. Not a recommendation, but that's what I would be doing. If I already had more than 20% cash, I'd be letting that shit fly. So, yeah. The goal isn't to get to 20% cash, but the goal is to have an ample amount of cash. You know, right now, 4%, I can't do anything. Again, if I spend one deposit, I'm back down to 2-3% cash. You just saw the decline that we had. You know, this little amount of cash didn't defend us. It gave us a little bit of defense, but I would like a little bit more. And so we don't have to get to 20%, but, you know, if you are curious, at the very least, I will start spending at 20. So I don't think that's the exact goal and we have to save up 20. But if I ever did get there, I would start spending it. What if the cash could be a down payment on a house? Then go buy a house. I was telling everybody the last all-time high that you guys had. I was telling all of you, buy a house. Some of you did. That's what I was saying. I was like, listen, you don't need to sell. Just go buy a house. If you think the stocks are high, go buy a house. So, yeah, all about that idea. I even told you I wanted to take our law term and put it into a cult compound. So, if you could build up your cash, if a house comes your way, go buy it. Close on Wednesday, baby. Amen. So your hedge is cash? Kind of, yeah. And it's just like the best part about what I'm doing, I'm not being a genius. You guys realize that? I ain't trying to predict shit, bro. I'm not my moves are not implying that I know better than anybody. So humble yourselves, because that's what I'm doing. I hope that makes sense. Because I'm not saying the market's going to go down, the market's going to go up. I need to do this, I need to do that. All I'm saying, I don't have a lot of cash. When I look at my setup, I see a weakness, I see a strength. So now I'm building up my weakness. That's it. I'm letting my portfolio tell me what to do. I don't need to look at the market. I don't need to look at anybody. It's just because that I'm not implying that, oh, I'm going to buy at the low. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to do it. No, it's just like we have a certain amount. We have certain areas. We did already complete our dividend goal. We already got our value. You see what I'm saying? Once we're lacking, we buy other stuff and we build around it. And now at this stage, it helped us. And, by buying value, that got us a lead. I didn't have to predict it. We went to where our portfolio needed it, what made sense. So that's all I'm doing. So that's why it's sad or tricky, because everyone's portfolio is different. So what I'm telling you right now, I think you need to speak to your portfolio. You cannot really look at anybody right now because everyone's different. If you have less cash, you shouldn't really be moving right now. Because you have so much uncertainty, and that's why that building up cash, you don't need to predict. It's telling you, hey man, you don't even have this, so why not chill? And then vice versa. If you had a lot of cash and you're watching all these names down, I mean, what are you doing? So, yeah. LMT names new CFO. Evan Scott. That sounds familiar. Okay, you're still going up. Georgieva Global Sovereign Debt Roundtable will publish playbook for debt restructuring, calls for strong regulation containing risk from rising non-banks. IMF. Yeah, Toyota did go up. No fucking liquidity on them options. You remember that? MSTR came down. Anarchis. Invisors. KDP. Keurig Dr. Pepper. It's so weird to me that Dr. Pepper isn't like Coke or Pepsi. It's like its own company. Pretty sure it's owned by the Chinese. I swear it was the Chinese who bought Keurig 2014. But yeah, all of these like staple soda companies are great. I mean, at least their performance. Wall on the high, ADGM unhalted. That's on the IPO, is it? Nah. All right. It's still early. We've only been here for 30 minutes. It's a good morning. Oh, shit. Why is that up? It's like up and down, but I'm gonna sell them for you guys. Wait if you want. So let me sell this. It's small. I'm selling those J&Js. It's pretty much break even from yesterday. But that place shouldn't be up. So if I sell it, I hope it goes higher. Well, last time I did this on one of those, it shouldn't be up. It ripped. But yeah, I got rid of that. And just be mindful. Again, today's the last day. So if you have anything expiring April 17th, you might want to dip. And then SPY coming down too. BK, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Again, I just sold Staples, J&J, but Staples are killing it. They're up 1.4. Jeez. And then, yeah, SPY is just barely above open. It's not bad. I mean, yesterday, that was your biggest day of the week, and then now you're just, like, right below the gap down, and then kind of right where you were last Friday. So we spent one whole week to kind of be in the same spot. Oh, it's your birthday. Another year down, baby. One more for the long term. Shout out all the birthdays, baby. Happy birthday. Happy Good Friday birthday? Oh, no, it's Thursday. I keep telling myself it's Friday. Let's see. Oh, I didn't. So guess what? I am going on a vacation, but not where I wanted to go anymore. So I'll tell you where I was going to go. But they booked. I didn't really want to go. My girlfriend got the idea. And I was like, we don't even do drugs. Like, why the fuck would we go? But then I was like, maybe. And then I saw a TikTok. But then the place, it was a cool house. And then it got booked. Are you ready? Yeah, we were going to go to Joshua Tree. I was like, man, I'm not even doing shrooms. I was like, no, we're going to go Joshua Tree. I was like, all right. And then the weather wasn't even hot. I said, fuck that. That was supposed to be my little vacation. I see there was it was the coolest house I've ever seen. And I was like, yep, I could do that. I see it. I was like, that will work. And then it got booked. I already have somewhere else I'm going. My friend, my homeboy hooked me up. But yeah, today's only Thursday, but it is the last day of the week. Apple green by 1. SPY just holding near here. AT&T 2. Chicago. I should have. Oh, I should have. But I don't want to go on a plane. I'm not really in a plane mood. I've been to Joshua Tree, but not to hang out. I've been there for work, like real estate. We were looking at Joshua Tree right before, it was like when Airbnb was first popping. Because that place was in Joshua Tree. Those houses used to go for $50K. So when the Airbnb boom really started hitting cities, Joshua Tree was one of the craziest places I've ever seen. Yeah, you are going down right now. Again, be careful though. It's a small range, so every move is gonna look, generally pretty large. It is. You wouldn't think the holiday. Okay, kind of bigger. That's 1 point. It just look at though on today's it's not one of these where you see it when you pull it out. So, but it is getting bigger though. You are dropping out of nowhere. No headline. I'll be looking. See Blackstone comments. IMF Georgieva was a little bit ago. That was 10 minutes ago. Pre-earnings was Netflix. That was crazy. Again, Netflix is today, and then you have Tesla next week. I thought Tesla was this week. I was tripping. But, yeah, Netflix was a killer pre-earnings. It does look big, but just look at the range. But, yeah, you are practically just doing nothing. I was just saying, be careful. All I did today, I made one play, and then I sold one. That's it. I'm chilling. Oh, those TMCs are still hitting too. You have time on that, and it's already ghetto spreaded. There's a lot of news in the morning. You had everything from China talking with Jensen. You had the Japan stuff, Trump saying fire Powell. What else was there? There was even data. Philly Fed showing recession signal. UNH got clobbered off of bad earnings. Eli Lilly, big drug. There's a lot today. That's why I even said the other day, before yesterday, it didn't move much, but there were so many like little hints. Elizabeth Warren on CNBC. Oh my gosh, my favorite person in the world. Fuck yeah. I need to go pee. Fuck yeah.
That dictator wake up in the morning and have a tummy ache and decide to cause this problem.
Honestly, she might be one of the brightest minds of our generation.
That's why we need to strengthen the infrastructure.
But I know
Fuck yeah.
the president, but you
remember,
have also been very vocal in
should
terms
Jerome
of
still cut rates,
Chair Powell
Elizabeth?
to cut interest rates.
Sure.
Elizabeth, should he cut rates?
And you and I have talked
Elizabeth,
about maybe you should
I thought
inject your
he's
politics
hurting
into
American
the Fed.
families,
That's
Elizabeth.
essentially all he's
With his
doing.
high rates, Elizabeth.
That's the question. When he talks
No,
about
ask Elizabeth if we should still cut.
No, he said his
Did you
term
know
She
ends
wrote
in
4
November.
letters to Powell
His
about
term
cutting.
ends next year.
You think he was saying term in? Look, I hope he
Come
was
on,
saying term in.
Elizabeth.
I think
We
what
need a
he's doing
bright
is
mind.
testing the waters.
Okay,
Does
I'm gonna
he
go pee.
think he can get away?
Follow me on
with
Instagram
firing
at The Trading
Powell,
Fraternity.
and all of you won't
Real Code
raise
News
any
on
hell
Twitter.
about that. He's
I'll
checking
be
that
right
out, and
back.
I'm just saying, for the strength of our country, I hope all of you are pushing back at this point.
Well, the bond market certainly would push back significantly. We're not seeing it as much today. I do wonder, they have taken a case to the Supreme Court in which they're testing the ability of the president to fire heads of independent agencies. Is that an important decision? It may be some time until we hear of it, but if the court should side with the Trump administration, does that embolden him to move faster on Powell, for example?
Absolutely. That is the question that's going to the United States Supreme Court. But I just want you to note, even the government's briefs so far, at least as they've laid their argument out going to the Supreme Court, even they are itchy-scratchy about saying that would include the Fed. You know, can we just remember why we do this? Going back to 1863, our first financial regulator, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, still exists today. What did we do? We made them right in the middle of the Civil War. We decided we've got to have a bank regulator for stability, right? Financial stability in our country. We made that bank regulator financially independent of Congress. It was a way to try to say, look, we understand what happens if elected officials, Congress or the President of the United States, can hear from a constituent, can hear from a donor, and then bring pressure on those financial regulators. Ultimately, it undercuts the entire economic system and makes us all vulnerable. Every financial regulator since then, the OCC, the credit industry, the CFPB, the old OTS, all of them have been financially independent. And we need to preserve that, not for the politics of the moment, not for whether I think the interest rate should go up or down.
Elizabeth,
3 months ago when
political.
we had such a strong economy.
You're just a bright
but
mind.
we need to preserve it because overall, that's what keeps the system strong year after year, decade after decade.
You would agree jawboning between the executive and the Fed is nothing new,
Oh,
right?
jawboning is different.
How is it different than, I mean, I'm curious, how is it different than this, this post?
Partly jawboning.
Nah, fuck that, Elizabeth. Let's get to the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the good stuff. Oh, hold on. I got to play the ad. All right, man. You're just chilling. I think I saw Sanofi. Again, medicine, medical, healthcare, they all got action today. Oh, here it is.
Senate Banking Committee comes just a day before the next inflation report. Powell told lawmakers the agency is independent and central bank
restricting
to bring down
policy stance.
I urge you to move more rapidly to bring down interest rates, beginning with a meaningful rate cut next month.
Wow!
You have proven you can move quickly.
Yeah,
when it is
baby girl.
politically
Tell 'em.
expedient.
Where the fuck did that
the
go?
Fed cut its main interest.
So, yeah. If you don't understand my criticisms, it's because these people are pulling shit out of their ass. 1 month they're saying cut ahead of an election. Now they're like, nah, fuck it, only Europe. You're like, what? That's real. That's from a couple months ago. All you have to do is Google Elizabeth Warren rate cut. That's all you got to Google. You'll find 100 clips. It's not even that, like, it's really not that crazy. It's just, that's, again, if you've been following along with all of these little updates throughout everything else, it's very, very, very interesting. I agree with you. Winds do change, but that's not Win. That's a politician. That is literally a lady who she wrote letters advocating and making people scared, saying it was for American families. So based on her logic, then, I think she wants to hurt American families then, if she does not advocate rate cuts. I'm laughing, bro, because I don't want to play their game. I think their game is hilarious. That's why I can't not crack up saying it, because it's a joke, bro. That's all. I care about you guys, and I do hope you pay attention, though, that a lot of these politicians, even Powell himself, there's a lot of flip-flopping going around. That's it. Just flip-flop is an epidemic. It's not even flip-flop. It's just, again, at some moments people are talking their book, and they're talking stuff that they want, and they'll make it seem very, very important and about the economy and people, and then the next minute it's gone, or they're worried on something else. So that, in this case, I do think that this is kind of she just all of a sudden stopped talking about it. But then again, you have to really realize that what Elizabeth was doing, shame on her, in my opinion, because now you are watching the rest of the world cut rates because they're worried about the economy and they need it, right? And you're all scared of Trump and she's silent. Now that idea that she was willing to write letters and make appearances for and go in front of Congress, all silent. But she is willing to make all of that noise and advocate a dramatic Fed shift 30 to 60 days prior to an election. So that's not really this is a different America, or it's kind of slimy. That's all I'm saying, because that is weird. We should have left the rates alone before the election, and if these politicians, if they did, I would have listened to them a little bit more. But now to watch them go and back and forth all within a 3-month period, that's not even like, I don't even think they believe what they're saying. Back to the lows. China's economy to overtake the U.S.? No, but they're different economies. I think that's something that everybody has to realize. Every economy is different. Maybe I'm kind of down. We should go back to the economic lessons. I should read you guys the book again. But every economy is different. What they focus on, how they're set up, what they're good at, what they're not. So China's economy just doesn't. They kill us at other things. You know what I'm saying? And they do stuff that we'll never be able to do. And then vice versa. We have elements in higher price stuff that they can't replicate as well. And then we now do a lot of services. That's what a lot of people don't realize. And that's why Trump does want us to go to manufacturing, but we do way better at services. So it's not going to be an easy comparison, but I don't think they will overtake us fully, but they will in some areas, and then in others will be better. Sadly, the answer is we work together. I say sadly because I don't, you view these people as enemies all the time, but trade does. This is why everybody wants globalism. If you want good trade, you need cooperation. It's legitimately the prisoner's dilemma. All right, new low. It's still small. So 5280, you are below the 5300. This is its own little level too. So watch, next level will be like 5272, but really 5260. I don't even think it's just slow, man. There's no money out there, you guys. That's what I realized. Like, even with the liquidity in this week, we need Wall Street. We can't. There's nobody's money to take. That's why I'm like, man, fuck. And then all these options, they'll like hit, and then it slows. Like, there's no money. We need a fucking pool of money running around chasing these headlines. Otherwise, it's not. There's no money to take from those liquidity pools. If you haven't realized it by now. No, they all just took a break. They're all left for the holiday. That's it. I think it's because of the holiday. There was that, and then it was finally a chill week. There's a lot of talking, but I think people taking off, and it's reflected in futures liquidity. There's good equity volume, but there's still just like, you could see it, you could feel it. Somebody's missing. It's not a bad thing. I don't say it in a bad way. I just say it in the sense of, I think this is why you're not getting, even yesterday, the moves were hella weird. You had a 5% drop down, and then the plays didn't move till I tell 10,000 people, holy shit, these options are lagging, and then it moves. So it's not, there's no money right now, I'm telling you. I think the real money is just, they're on break right now. So there's just way less dollars chasing after a small amount of headlines as well. So see, though, again, yesterday we had good ones. Yesterday we had Dollar Tree, we had Hertz. So individual, like, early stock news, we're going to take them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably not going to touch the SPY today. Pepsi going. Hanna. At the go, Lurk. Do it, man. Do it. I'd chill and get ready. You just got to be on the look. It's going to be whatever. There's going to be like one company play today. That I could see happening. I think we're just going to get one or two random poppers like we did yesterday. And then if you save your money not getting chopped on the SPY, you'll walk away with the steak dinner. So, God willing. But other than that, it's not, I think we just kick it. UNH flushing more. Blech. Down 20, Apple catching a candle, SPY off the bottom, same with the bonds too. Euro, Eli Lilly, that clapped. Yeah, it is actually. It's still negative on the day. That's crazy. The yen is going up too. Maybe that's why bonds. It's so weird. But pound is up too, but they're all like barely green. Pound is way better. And then Swiss franc starting to go straight up. So, yeah, you are getting some currency moves. But we haven't really gotten a headline yet. Is GLD moving too? No, gold is at the low. So today's broken in that sense. So you have one or two safe havens going up. The other one's not moving. Last time the currency safe havens moved, gold went with it, but nah. We didn't talk about UNH. They just had a bad guy down. It reminds me of Humana when we bought Humana and then it kept going down. I think they just had earnings. They recovered a little. They were already near this price at one point. Remember, after bad earnings and everything, then they recovered. I can't believe they doubled up almost. But just a bad one. Healthcare either does very well or really good or really bad. Philo will be later. And we have only been here for 1 hour. We're actually 5 minutes shy of the first hour. 12 million. It's honestly not bad volume. 10 million is like average for an hour number one. So 12 million is actually not that bad. Kind of funny. That's what I'm saying. The volume is high on stocks, but liquidity is low. It's really, really weird. So NVIDIA, they're coming down 3. Again, bonds, yen, and Swiss franc. Those are all moving up as we go into our lows. More healthcare names. I keep seeing those. Yeah, literally, Elevance getting a candle here at the top. Oil, little Chicle. NVIDIA down 3. Yo, look at Elevance. ELV. Is that real? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, those are weird. I whiffed it. It's moving, though. That one's very interesting. Elevance. So, again, one of those healthcare names. Yeah, it's moving up there. Maybe that's your popper. 3 candles. Big volume. I'm not playing it. I can't find one. They're moving. Yeah, you got the ass going up. The ones near the money just popped. And Human, all of them. Hold on. Yo, look. You even got Humana now, too. So those already went up 100% if you got close to the money. Oh, someone bought those earlier. Dollar drop in. I think Elevance was a good one if you got it. I whiffed it. I just didn't like it. And then the spreads. But yeah, we'll see. Let me check a headline. But that's already moving. Well, in the video, I mean, it's not like this week had good chip news. Wait, 724? What is this? April 22nd. What? Yo, bro. I think the earnings leaked. Yo, this is wild. Or I think they're reaffirming guidance. I actually have a headline on it. No, on Elevance. Yeah. No, that hit. So literally, I have a filing 3 minutes ago, and it says first quarter results on April 22nd. They expect to report net income of $961. And then you keep going down. It says based on the results, they intend to reaffirm the shareholder guidance for 2025. They reported earnings. You just checked it. Yeah, it's coming out now. They're literally, no, it's coming out now. They're reaffirming guidance. It's on my wire. Yep. No, we got that early. So watch. I think it's, you already missed the snake. I'm going to take a cheaper one. But Elevance is literally coming in with guidance, and now all of the other healthcare companies did bad, and now they're just saying, nah, we're going to hold up. Everything is. I grabbed a super cheap. You had a moment. Samuel grabbed those. Samuel snaked the 500% one. You had it. I was talking it out loud. I was saying it, but I was like, nah, because I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I just caught the movement, and then I was like, all right, whatever. But after reading that, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, literally, bro. Like, they literally just reaffirmed guidance after selling off after everybody had the bad one. That's crazy. Yeah, that was it. You could keep his why. I put $10 down on it. 20. Yeah, I put $20. I got two of them. I put $20 just in case, but you missed it really. But I don't know, if we were lucky, it mixes in with guidance earnings. The stock was down a lot. You see what I'm saying? So other than that, though, but if you were early listening, that you had the move. That was crazy. I can't believe that. That literally went from random ass news to a random ass move. Yeah, Elevance sees first quarter EPS. It's hitting every wire now. Medical costs developed in line. Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's crazy. Oh, so I was just telling you guys, it's going to be like a random individual play. So there you have it. Apple dumping. Yeah. Okay. Elevance has already went up 100. Look at Apple. Literally, Apple is dumping. I don't know what that is. Even the SPY's kind of moving a little bigger. Okay, Elevance is up another 100%. So again, if you got the first one, you got 500% by listening. And then the late stage ones already did another 100 on the bid and ask. 50 on the bid, 100 on the ask. So still a wide spread. Make it free. Make it free, and then we'll ride that the rest of the day. TTD. Oh, shit. Yo, we already have these. Oh, where is he? What? Yeah, bro, TTD. Bro, huge pop. We're already in this play. So hold on. Remember, I grabbed this last week. Holy shit. TTD. TTD, big pop. Holy shit. Yeah, TTD's running 3%, one candle. I am already in that one. So that play was going to die, but now it just came back up. Yeah, 3%. No idea what's going on with that. I'm in a call. I don't know what Apple's doing at all either. I got Elevance and then TT. Apple just flipped up green. Ah! All right. Yeah, but watch TTD. I'm already in it, so I'm not going to make a play. I'm going to ride. Hopefully make them free. Let me check the Elevance again. Elevance still holding up 100 or 50 on the bid. Friday Junior, I mean, like I said, it's going to be individual news names. Ignore the SPY today. So, again, we're already hitting. That's it. I got 100 on the, oh, it's not filling. I'm trying to make my TTD free. It's old. That play was going to die. Nice. Companies in EU are starting to look for ways to ditch Amazon amid fears of rising risk. Why won't they fucking fill this shit? Bro, little scammers. Google dead. Even Apple too. Yeah, someone said that earlier, even Baidu. Bro, I'm trying to make these free. They won't fill it. That's so whack. Every time I put in a bid, they lower the bid. Or they lower the ask on these fake-ass contracts. All right, whatever. Fuck you. Well, we got our hits. You got TTD, and then you got your Elevance. So, not bad. Not bad. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. I love TTD. I think that one, dude, that just popped up 4. Do we have a headline on that? Let me double check. Because that's what I did with Elevance, and then that ended up being good. Is Elevance still up or no? Elevance. I just like saying, yeah, Elevance came down. It's break even now. But again, hopefully you already made those free. I don't see anything on TTD. What the fuck? The premiums are still holding on TTD. They just won't fill you. It's a scam. They literally, it's a 900% spread. And then right when the bid goes up and you put in an order to move it, they drop it. I'm telling you, it's like, I swear to you, it looks like they're following my computer. Because right when I type in the number, it changes. And then right when I get rid of it, it changes back. I don't even hit enter. So yeah, but TTD is moving. They're going higher. It's just a weird-ass move. But yeah, make it free, but we don't know the headline on that, bro. Bro, it's, again, 5. Stop it. Honestly, those plays should be worth way more, bro. They're scamming hard. Should we go for it again? Remember last time we tried to do this shit? Like I'm saying, this is going to be like the VIX, possibly. They're little scammers, bro. There's nowhere to go hard on it, though. Okay, now it filled me. Now it fucking filled me. Fuckers. All right, you get out at 100%, but... All right, I got a bunch of free ones now. Stupid, dude. If it does that again, I'm buying 1,000 of them. Fuck you. Well, there you go. That's a great one. I needed that. That just changed everything. Because I had a lot of those. But I'm mad that, bro, that place should go nuts. So, yeah, they hustled, bro. Okay, now it's going a little harder. We don't even know what the news is. Google holds illegal... Oh, on online advertising. Oh, so Google... That's the headline. That makes sense. So, does that... You get it? Remember I was telling you? Other homie didn't know what TTD did, and I was explaining how they do advertisement stuff with Netflix, too. So, yeah, Google Ad News, they're benefiting. Bank stuck with $2.5 million debt from pet supply firm. Yeah, bro, TTD might go crazy. It sucks that these plays expire today, but yeah. I mean, it's already, Google's down 3. They're only up 5. But all right, we're already in it. We did our thing. I'm going to just ride those out. I already got my money back, unless... No, now it started to move. I don't even know what fucking contract I'm on. Yeah, they're killing the contracts again. No, they're not. Oh, my God. This is really confusing. Bro, I think they're dropping the bids. I'm like, all right, let me put an order. It filled instantly on that one. All right, I have to hold the rest of those. I got more than my money back now, but okay, now they're going for 30. Okay, that's ripping. Fuck. Did I sell early again? 500% now. Yeah, we got it. I'm gonna ride the rest of those. I've already taken I think I've taken $1,000 out of it already. Those were cheap as fuck, bro. I'm telling you, we had it now it's at 40. So there you go. 1,000% if it goes up one more bid. One more 5 cents. You're like just under 1,000. Yup. We did it, y'all. We did it. Nah, they scammed heavy on that, bro. I can't believe that. That's what I'm saying. We should have bought 100,000 of them. Now that play, dude, they were scamming it at 1 cent when I was just yelling at you. Now it's going for 45. Fucking scammers, dude. That's crazy. I was already in the play. That's why I made this play yesterday. Believe it or not, I was already in, or 2 days ago, we bought TTD. So shout out to Stream Alerts. That one you just, okay, 30 now. All right, I sold more, but I still got some. I just keep I put in wicked prices and it fills now. I fucking hate them, dude. I just sold a lot out for 30 cents. Oh, that's great. I don't know. I got a couple more left. That's insane, dude. Oh, that's it. Dude, I know, man. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me try it. And then I do it, and then I'm like, oh! Little fuckers. They just gave me 30 cents for that. That's crazy, bro. See, I don't know, man. You got to have balls to do it. Just, if you ever hear me, bro, if you ever hear me and I'm like, it's like really, really scamming like that, if you have balls, bro, you can make a lot of money on them. I was already in that one. That's the second time in the last 48 hours that's happened to me. Where I'm like, well, that place should have moved a lot. That's what I'm saying. There's no money, bro. There's no money there. Yeah, you have to be, if you notice it, there's like a 1 minute window where it fucking lags so hard. And if you take it, that's it. But I swear, the moment I do it, I'm going to get clapped. So I'm already in it, though. That was a banger. 1,000% or just under it. So GG, baby. That was good. We just had Elevance and then that one right away. You need stream alerts. Honestly, if you were on the watch list, you could have got this one too. Because the day after I made the play, we had a live watch list, and I explained the play, and even Homeboy was even like, wait, how does TTD do advertising? And I explained it to him. This was on a watch list. So, and we went over TTD on one of the nightly watch lists. So you didn't need to buy the stream alerts. If you're locked in, you could get an idea of what I'm doing. I would love to share it with you if you're paying attention. Other than that, stream alerts, first link in the description. I mean, yeah, if you were here right now, you could have hit it too. And then Homeboy with the Elevance, Samuel snaked that shit before anybody. That shit went up 500, then the late stage went up 100. Nice. Well, God is good. That was a gift, bro. That's it. Those plays could have expired worthless, but that's it. We leave with 1,000%. They dropped the bid to 1 cent now. Same exact play. Bid just went to 1 cent. And then they just filled someone at 16. Yeah, they just dropped the bids, bro. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Blech. Fucking scammers. Now it's 6 cent bid, 20 cent ask. Again, I just sold fucking 10 of them at 30 cents. Fucking assholes, dude. And then, dude, that window. I'm telling you. You heard me say I'm going to buy 100,000 of them. That's the second time, bro. I need to find it one more time. As if we find it, if this happens one more time, oh, I'm scared because I feel like I'm gonna go insane. Because I'm doing it next time. Fuck that. But it has to be like slow. It only works when we're slow like this. That's all. It's just like, because I feel like it's a liquidity issue. I don't think they're doing it as natural, if that makes any sense. I just genuinely don't think there's enough money chasing after the plays. So the computers do what they're doing, but then you don't have all of this money floating around like you did when the market's moving up and down 5%. Okay, now the bid's at 17. All right, well, that was a good one, man. So even then, even if you thought it was boring, we got some right there. That was back-to-back, Elevance and then TTD. All right. Let me go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. You got Netflix after the bell, yeah. Real Coat News on Twitter. And I'll see you in a little bit.
Of the revenue and a tripling
Georgieva
of
comments,
the
China
income. And
US.
that is led by advertising, and the expected growth that they have is to exceed $9 billion by 2030. So all of these very significant data points were largely consistent.
Is this related to it?
Increased confidence that we have in the business model and how the strong revenue growth is really going to flow into profits and drive really high returns on invested capital here.
It underscores a really confident Netflix. And Robert, last time we had any sort of an economic downturn, it was COVID. And of course, Netflix did well because we were all at home and literally the only thing we could do is sit at home and watch TV. If you do get more weakness in the American economy,
fuck that. But app,
what happens
it's
to
too
Netflix
expensive
this time around?
There's some cheap ones. I just don't like them.
Yeah, it's a really great question. I'm sure it's going to be asked, 10 different ways tonight after the company reports. But the best answer I can give you today is because of this advertising tier, what they really did was a significant price cut, if you want to view it that way. So their upper premium prices of $18, $19, even $25 a month now after the recent raised prices. But then now they have this ad tier, which is essentially a really big unlock of a whole different subscriber universe that they can speak to now at $8 a month. And so they now have an option over the past couple of years, and a part of, or a large driver of their subscriber growth has been these cheaper tiers and allowing customers that can't afford the more expensive tiers to come in at a much cheaper price, even relative to a lot of the other streaming companies' ad tier options. And another reason why we got so much more confident in this story was when we looked at the engagement that happens versus the monetization that happens at that engagement levels. Netflix is really under monetized, and that was like a really big awakening moment for us to understand what the upside potential is as they lean into this advertising.
Why does Netflix continue to be, Robert, so dominant in streaming? As we've seen such a huge amount of competition come into the market. Is it first mover advantage? Do they spend more to produce content? What is it that keeps them at the top?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit on two of the big ones. Clearly, being a first mover has given them a lot of advantages. I think it's fair to say that most people, even
they always talk about this after it moves.
They're starting to consider.
I'm glad you and I think alike.
In their wallet, Netflix is likely to be last
peeing,
on
and
that
I'm like,
list
oh, now Netflix is under monetized, huh?
So I think
when I was buying that shit, y'all told me it was dead. You said it's dying.
Player in the US and around the world,
now,
importantly too. has given them significant advantages. And the fact that they've grown their content budget as high as it is, call it roughly $18 billion on content, we actually think that they're going to lean in more to that advantage over the next few years and become even bigger in sports and become even bigger on original content, because that's just allowing them to further disrupt and lean into their own advantages.
Well, hopefully we'll get that color in a...
Wow. I don't think they are reporting user growth. You might be right. Mm-hmm. Ringa. Didn't they have UFC? Oh, J&J, you guys. I sold that one. Remember I told you that place shouldn't have been up? They could have snitched, to be honest. I had a daily, and it was above break even, but it shouldn't have been. Yeah, those plays are up, dude. What the fuck? Okay, no, never mind. I was on the wrong date. Okay, good. Yeah, we sold out at a good price. Today's a full day, but it's going to be small. Dude, TTD was hella scammy, bro. I'm telling you, we still walked away with just under 1,000% because we were positioned prior, but, oh, dude, that was dirty. I'm telling you, the moves, every time it was moving up, they were lagging the option, and then they would let it go, but then they would just drop the bid until you put in the order. And then then you had bids for like 2 minutes, and then that was it. Ask is down to 6. It's still a 300% spread. So, yeah, that's it. Volatility. And then it's weird because Google dropped off the same headline. Very rarely do you, like, this is tiny. That's what I was saying. This should be huge. Because if that news was enough to bring Google down 2%, it should have brought a company a tenth of the size. You know, they should have had a little bit more follow through on that. I guess 24 billion. TTD is still kind of big. But, yeah, either way, we did good, though. And then we got the Elevates. Happy Friday, Junior. Let's go, Spy, Little Red. NVO a diamond yet? Almost. We're getting there. Everything's getting there, man. You know, that's why we got to just vibe and do our thing. Oh, those free Boeing calls. I forgot about that. I'm going to just try to sell anything. Wood, welcome. I am using TOS. I traded deals on E-Trade, but yeah, I do have a TOS. Then Spy getting candles, bonds coming up. What price would I buy? Elf? Very low. I would, if you want the cosmetic space, I would just get the best one. Sadly, it'd be like Ulta, but Elf was like a $5 stock at one point. But I love their growth, man. I remember in 2023, I was very impressed by them. But it just, it's a cheap makeup company, but 50 is still kind of up there. I like them. I just would rather get Ulta. But Ulta's already up. Ulta did not get cheaper. Delaware senators pass marijuana bill to address FBI dispute. Threatens to delay recreational launch. Yeah, I got 1 centers that expire on MSOS. Those never hit. I do like NVO, man. NVO, the 5 handle is a great thing. That's why there could be some more lows to it, but this is already very attractive. I cannot lie, bro. Should we do it? Should we flip the coin for the long term? I want to buy it. I want to buy NVO and Nike and Pfizer. I just want to buy all of them, bro. But I need cash. Why? But I made money on options. Use the option cash. No. CNBC is just now covered. They haven't covered it yet? Oh, damn. So we were early. Okay.
That's underway where the Google to break up or sell its Chrome browser. Now, on top of U.S. cases, of course, there's European antitrust and a number of other lawsuits around the world, all adding to Google's regulatory pressures. And guys, I will note, just as Google's momentum in AI is picking up, it's scoring a lot of wins here. This opens up a new front, one that has existed but was a little bit quiet for a little bit. It is going to be in full focus next week, especially as that DOJ remedy trial gets underway. But for now, this is the ad tech trial, hitting Google shares by about 2%.
Yeah, you can forgive people for sort of getting confused about the various trials, Dee. The remedy part, obviously, they already were found guilty, so to speak, or at least.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was something NVO. I was doing this when I was, yesterday we went over the payout ratios, and I was going over it, bro, and I was looking and I was comparing NVO because, like, NVO's, like, some of their price, it's super cheap right now on some ratios in the sense that, like, compared to when they weren't making as much money to grab them at $50. But there's one metric that they're overvalued on still that I don't like with NVO. So every metric looks cheap on NVO, and then there's one that's just like you're paying like 5-10 times more. Which one was it? I think price to tangible book, or I think price to free cash flow. I think that one. Yeah, and tangible book. So back in the day, the tangible book price to book was like 11. Now it's at 64. That's the highest it's been ever. But every other price to sales, price to earnings, everything is just dry. It's at 26, dude. It's kind of crazy. But that's the weird part. That's what I'm scared of with NVO, is that they might literally just be lacking on some of, I don't know what other assets they have. So you're paying a lot for it. You're getting at a discount on the revenue and the cash flow, but the actual book, that might not be as good. Their assets, they've grown a lot recently. 54 becomes a 3% dividend. Wow. Just added. I like it. As long as you have cash, bro, I think you could scoop up 1-2 good things right now. Which one was it? But yeah, every other metric, though, on all of their valuation ratios, it's dramatically lower than like 2022, 2018 even. But then that, again, there's some parts to it that are a little sketchy. And then did you know that? Are you ready for this? This one I think is kind of crazy. No, price to tangible book. So not price to book. Price to book is 19. Price to tangible book is 64. Where was it? But yeah, their payout ratio is 35%. So they have a small dividend, but that's still 35% of their profits. You mentioned the ghetto spread strategy to your derivatives professor. He said he'd start implementing it for his risky plays. He seemed impressed with the idea. It's good. It's not called ghetto spread. It's called legging in. Why not wait till June, 6 months of the year? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I mean, that's what I've been telling you. I'm glad you listened. Because like I said, I think by June, July, we'll really know where things are going. And then I'll have at least 10% cash, I think, by then. And then, yeah, that's it. The only problem is that by June, July, what if these prices dramatically change? So that's it, just FOMO. And then, Euro just, whoa. Do you guys see this? Bro, every currency. Bro, every currency just dumped. The dollar has to be, something might be brewing right now. I think it's just weird because the holiday and all that, but yeah, the dollar is rocketing. Something's weird. Don't get too jumpy, but I don't know. I'm surprised no one said anything. Like literally, bro, euro plummeted, pound, Swiss franc, and then dollar up. Yeah. This isn't, something just move. You're barely moving on equities. I would go NVO over Estee Lauder right now. Estee Lauder is risky. Estee Lauder has a lot of value, but their payout ratio is insane. Everything about NVO, you just have the risk of underperforming Eli Lilly. I like Estee Lauder, believe me, but I think they're two different companies. Estee Lauder, you grab it if you already have good quality names. So if you already have like a Meta, a Google, you know what I'm saying? If your portfolio already has high quality investments, then you could go for EL. Estee Lauder would be great to add to a portfolio with a lot of quality. You see what I'm saying? Because then you could get the yield, the upside, the industry, and then you don't have to worry about bottom fishing. But if you don't have quality, I would not add Estee Lauder without quality. You need some quality to back that shit up. Hey, yo, USO, oil popping now. So add that to the list. Very weird, bro. So again, you have currencies and dollar moving, and now oil just took a candle up. Gold pop. Uh-oh. The next one. Jake Frost State Farm. Woo! What up, baby? Happy Friday, Junior. Yeah, gold moving up and bonds. Oh, I was like, why do I have that? I was trying to get rid of that. Why did I say today's options expiration is scammy? There's just factors to it. That's all. I just said be careful. There's some things going on today that it's not your typical expiration. It could be scammy or it could not be. But long story short, everybody is on holiday. At least that's what the liquidity is saying. So you're not just getting as many buyers or sellers today. All right. Something's, again, like I said, we got some weird moves earlier. Oil starting to go up. Currencies all just went crazy. And the equities have not even moved like 3 points. So just eyes peeled right now. UNH, I know. UNH, very bad. Watch the other one, too. Was it? Oh, there's another healthcare. Humana. Oh, what was the other one? Pizza. We talked about that one yesterday. I like Whirlpool too, but again, when we started buying Whirlpool, and I think it's a great lesson, none of these names that we're looking at now are this cheap. So when I bought Whirlpool, everything else was expensive, and I like the yield and I like the company, but now I have other names that I could shop for. Okay, SPY's moving. I know, everything popped. I did it. I am a bitch. I did it. I had to. I had to. I don't know if there's news, but you're pop. I was looking for my lawn turbo. I did it. I'm sorry. Lord forgive me. Yeah, all the premiums just jumped 50%. What the fuck is this? Hold on. Exxon. No, I don't see anything, bro. Be careful. Oh, I got to log in. I got to do it for the Liberal, too. Hold on. Let's see if the Liberal will allow us. Bonds dumping, SPY ripping. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck is it? I don't have any headlines right now. Big pop. Dude, you just went up 2 points. Contracts have already reacted, but yeah, that's it. Wow. Yeah, well, something's happening. Doge comes for clean energy. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's crazy. You just had a fat ass pop. Crypto's going crazy. But again, you're right back to open. This is actually holding, but I have no idea what this is. How much did I pay for it? I don't know what price I got in. I didn't use all my money. I only used one deposit. So I still have cash, but so 58.63 on that one. Damn. The other one was lower. Yeah, 58.40 on the other one. I can't believe it, bro. And damn, is that UNH? Putin met Iranian foreign minister, Kremlin says. Yeah, I added to the long term. So not a recommendation. You will lose money. I'm a bitch because I can't hold my cash. But I had to do it, bro. I picked up some NVO. I put one deposit down at around 58.40-ish, 58.40 to 50. But I still got cash, but now pretty much this month, we wait another month, 2 more weeks, I'll just be back to the 4% cash. I had to, bro. It's down 7%. So maybe watch out, because last time I did this on a stock, it got pummeled the next day, a.k.a. Humana. So, yeah. And then J&J, and I don't know what's going up with this SPY. Italy economy. He says he plans to meet Treasury Secretary at G20. Oh, this could be related to Italy. Every call went up 50%. I really don't like I don't like this SPY today. Well, we still have cash, but we have made our purchase. And then you should have got a long-term alert. And then hopefully you didn't stop them yesterday. That would have been unfortunate. Yeah, the Trump meeting, but I'm thinking maybe they said something and maybe something's going to happen. Other than that, that's like actually a surprisingly decent pop in its holding. You haven't given it back yet. So all the plays have doubled. Anything on any call option chain, or it's up 50%, but it's like actually holding. Yeah, remember currencies, and then oil is moving, but you're right under 5,300 now. This is 5,300. I'm sad. I feel so sad, Chad. You know that? I didn't want to buy, but I felt like I had to. Does that make sense? I wanted more cash, bro, but I couldn't say no. I folded, dude. I folded. Okay, you're still going up on this, bro. You don't know, and there's no word on this. I'd keep your eyes really peeled right now, because there's either going to be a follow-up confirmation and this gets bigger, or this is absolutely nothing. What a shakeout. I haven't played this yet, and I feel like once we add liquidity, they're going to just take it. I'm not playing anything on the SPY today. I'm looking, though, just in case. If there's a follow-up big piece of news, we'll run it. Otherwise, I'm not going to fall for it. Again, we already hit 1,000%er added to the long term, and then I think individual news is going to hook us up. Yeah, I think my average on NVO is now around $67. Because I bought it higher, dude. I thought it was a good deal earlier. So now it's even better. But now I own 100 shares. You guys know that? Isn't that crazy? So I didn't have 100 shares before. But now I have 100 shares and my average is 67. Which is great, honestly. Look at that. I'm not mad at that. And then we still got a little bit more cash, but we'll see. I had to buy something, dude. I would have felt like a schmuck. And I like it. I like it a lot. I like NVO. I don't want to buy anything, though. I'm mad at that. It's really bothering me. Because I like having cash, dude. And I think we'll get way better deals, too. But I guess it's a little bit of FOMO, but I don't think it's FOMO as much as it is like I'm doing it on a down 7% day. You know what I'm saying? And like I let literally 50% go down in front of me. So, I mean, at what point, when am I not going to do it? I had to do a small good one. I had to do small. That's it. So I used one deposit. I still have some, but I like the company a lot. I don't think I was going to let it. I couldn't resist. I literally could not resist. It is. I know. I have my rules and a little bit of, that's what I'm telling you. I'm verbalizing it. I'm showing you it. I'm telling you in advance. You know what I'm saying? But it really is just like I still feel exactly the same. I really want cash. I don't have a lot of cash. None of that objectively has changed. It actually got worse now, but it's a good deal. If I already thought it was a good one, it did speak to me, but the account also needs cash. It's a dilemma. It really, really is. Because at least we shot low enough. So now I folded at 50% off. You see what I'm saying? Like literally in the last month, this stock is down 50%. So we folded. At least we didn't fold on something cheap. But then again, the long term is telling you we need cash. So hopefully this doesn't backfire. But now it just slowed us down by another month. But if that, we'll find out in a quarter whether or not it sped us up or if it really did slow us down. But cash. I don't think the NVO sell is irrational. It just has a lot of juice. That thing is up a lot. Doge comes for clean energy. We already had that. This is holding. You're right below 300. Oil's still killing it. I only consider what's in the investment account as my cash. So I think you should do the same. Like you have cash in other areas of your life. You're still going up. The plays are all 50% higher. I haven't touched them. I'm looking at them. You could go if you would. Actually, there is one set that is not moved. Kind of. All right, I took a small one. Fuck this. I don't like it, though. I did the only one lagging. You should know what that means at this point. I kept that one really small. Or I keep it small, then that's it. But I think it's all a trap, dude. And I think individuals will do better. But if you are going to melt up through this level with earnings and then everything flipping literally 10 minutes before Euro close, I'm going to put $20 down. But I do think individual names are your best bet. I think avoid this SPY. Just go for the single stock names. You'll be great. DJT on the high. JNVR, I remember that one. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the trading facility. Okay, Habibi. And then we bought for the long term. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, bro. 3 months later. Started with NVO, it ends with NVO. That's crazy. I love you, Chad. God bless America. Thank you to the veterans. And I'll see you in a little bit. Burb. Actually, no, I won't. There's no propaganda. See? I told you, bro, right when I add liquidity, it goes away. There's no money. I promise you at this point. I genuinely don't think there's money right now in the market. Obviously, there's people like you and me, but there's no real money out there. It's just like randoms. I have no other way to explain it. I've seen too much of this shit. Yeah, it's just computers versus small fries today. I'm there, right there with you. Just calm down on the OPEX shit, dog. You weren't here in the morning and you missed it, and now you're just fucking keep saying that over and over, but I think you're confusing people more because today is actually a distinctly different expiration than any of the last 6. So I don't think it's that. I think it's a holiday. There's no liquidity. And that's what's adding it. We do have one potential event, but other than that, that's it. Potential event is Italy. Okay, is it here? Propaganda. I'll BRB.
They're trying to do.
Yeah, so this is part of a distribution play, right? If Perplexity can get itself onto the kinds of consumer devices that are in the hands of millions, that's a major channel for them to get their product out in front of customers. And so we're seeing these deals in talks with Samsung, and there's already one done with Motorola that will be announced shortly, according to our sources.
So this is a virtual assistant that we're talking about. When I think about Perplexity, I think about its aim of taking on the search market. What do you know about their kind of competence when it comes to a virtual assistant in the smartphone context?
Yeah, so Perplexity it has gained a lot of traction with users who like it because it has this focus on real time and it has a search-like user interface. And so they're hoping that they can channel that into being the best assistant that is not just really smart at answering questions, but can also, gather context about, the news today or the weather or sports or what have you. So that's kind of their play here. And there's all kinds of integrations in the works being discussed with Samsung. So it could be anything from, marketing, kind of encouraging the consumer on a Samsung device to download Perplexity to something that's more like a preload, right? And a nudge to maybe use Perplexity in addition to the Google Assistant feature that's already baked into those phones.
In response to our reporting, spokespeople for Perplexity, Samsung and Motorola declined to comment. But I think you mentioned a moment ago, there is a lot of interest in Perplexity as a company as well. Where are they at in their kind of evolution in terms of the amount of money they've raised, the valuation, and how they're seen in this field, right? I'm thinking in terms of where they rank relative to an OpenAI or an Anthropic.
Yeah, so I would say OpenAI is still by far the market leader in terms of the startups with AI chatbots. Anthropic is also a really big one, right? But Perplexity is up there. I would say, it's in the top league of these chatbot or AI apps that have actually made it with a segment of the consumer market. And they've raised quite a bit of money. So, we reported that they are in talks for raising between $500 million to $1 billion. That was something I reported in March. March, and they're seeking a valuation, or talking about one of $18 billion. That would double from the previous round. So Perplexity is one of the fastest growing AI startups there are, besides the top two that you always hear about, which are OpenAI and Anthropic.
Bloomberg's Shireen Ghaffari, terrific reporting. Thank you very much. There are many other news headlines in the world of technology, and we have them in Talking Tech. First up, car rental startup Turo is cutting about 150 jobs. That's 15% of its workforce after shelving its IPO in February. Turo had planned to go public, but has been waiting years for a more favorable market. Precision Neuroscience, a startup created by one of Neuralink's co-founders, has implanted a device into a man's brain that allows him to move a robotic device with his thoughts. The implant was cleared by the FDA last month for limited use, and Precision hopes to start selling the device in 2026. And SpaceX, Palantir, and Anduril are partnering.
What the fuck did I just hear?
A contract for a U.S. missile defense shield. That's according to a Reuters report. SpaceX proposed setting up a subscription service where the government would pay for access to the technology rather than own the system. All right, coming up here on Bloomberg Technology, Wall Street chases an escapism away from tariffs. Why investors are turning to streaming giant Netflix. That's a discussion next. Let's take a...
Interesting. Did he just say that? Did he just say they had something that makes you think? I don't know what the fuck I just heard. Government secured. That one's, I don't do today. I know the market's not moving, but like, bro, the amount of damn headlines today that are just like, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. Maybe instead of Easter, this is the spy dying, and then in 3 days it'll rise again. The story sounds mad familiar, dog. Maybe. Amen. Amen. And then what was that? Someone posted FFAI. I saw a headline in there. What was that? Okay, coming back down. I stream alerted it. I sold out of the call. I took a 1 penny loss, even if it was 10, 20 bucks. I don't give a fuck, dude. No more SPY. Not today, at least. I think individual names, we won on all of them this week. So the SPY was giving us shit, but individual names are great. There was a couple like whiffs if they were 1 penny, but even that TTD coming back, the ones yesterday, individual names that's how we got to keep maneuvering. When liquidity's low, we got to go to single stock names, right? When there's no headlines, we got to go single stock name. When there's real drama, then we go SPY, QQQ, all of that. Oh my gosh, what if we held that Dollar Tree yesterday? What? Ah! So I'm saying, bro, these single stock moves. You think it was somebody closing a short to go on vacation? Maybe, honestly. I just saw the currencies prior. That's the thing that was kind of freaking me out. I can't believe I just bought for the long term. I'm insane. It's been a long day without you, my friend. Dollar under 100. I mean, the puts, some of the puts almost went up 100, but I just don't like the SPY. It's just too difficult with not enough money around it. It would be insane if you didn't. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Only time will tell. Oh, I need to finish it. Yeah, dude, I have a quiz today, but I don't have a game. I don't know what game we're going to play. So we might just do the quiz and then just top 3, you guys get money and gifts. If we don't have a game to play, it might just be all about Watchlist. Tips auction. Yeah, 5-year. Those usually don't have too big of an effect. You got a game idea, let it rip. Is it the same one from last time? I don't want to play double or nothing again. I want to do something else. That's what I'm saying. That one was just too easy. It was fun, but I don't know if you guys. We'll play it again later I think with more people. But I mean, that was too quick. Let's make a deal. Well, we have a quiz. I have 15 questions. It should be more. Okay, SPY coming back up again. So look, this is what I'm saying, bro. You got to be this won't happen on an individual. So again, homeboy was just asking me about the puts. I put one up. I'm like, yeah, they went up 50%. Yeah, look, you're down 50% now. But guess what? None of those calls, I guess they kind of went up 50%. But yeah, so that's not happening. I guess any single stock on a daily will do that, but these moves are too wicked. And then if it doesn't follow through, the first candle is the move. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be positioned before it pops, because now once it's already moved there, if we don't get the follow through, it's gonna get tricky. But you are moving back up. It's the one I emailed. I don't think we could do that this week. Like I was saying, it would take too much time to prepare, and if it's like double it, but then we have to mix in the questions, I'm just not prepared for that. So I have a Kahoot ready with 15 questions. I just don't have a follow-up game. My idea was we just do top 3 on the quiz. Top 3 get free stream alerts for 1 month. So you get a $200 value for being top 3. And then number 1 will get free stream alerts for a month and then $100 on top of it. Or if we can find out a game, I'll give away another $3,000, but I need a game. It has to be fun. And I have to be able to set it up pretty efficiently. Otherwise, or you guys want to play me video games? I'll give you $5,000 if you could beat me at any video game for the winner. I'll give you $10,000 if you could beat me at Halo. Oh. Okay, the gamers all came out. Russia, China discuss possibility for joint LNG projects. All right. This is literally the open, bro. And bonds lower. Chess. Oh, okay. I think I have a game. Okay, I got an idea. Why don't we do the quiz? And then winner of the quiz, top 3 get the gifts. And then the top 2 play checkers against each other. And then the winner of checkers will flip a coin on how much you get. Why not chess? Because, motherfucker, I'm dumb. What do you mean, why not chess? I know how to play chess, but you have to show me how to play it. I have to know, like, I have to go slower. Like, you know how many times I've had to explain why we have cash and you think they going to get chess right off the jump? You think we playing chess when I'm trying to explain to them why you don't buy things at all-time highs? And you think we going to just get into chess? I think we got to start with fucking checkers. Mm-hmm. Well, either way, we'll do it at 10. So in about an hour and a half at bare minimum, I will have a quiz with a little bit of money and free stream alerts. But you had to have watched the watch list, and you will have to be a member. So unfortunately, because I don't want to distract, you see what I'm saying? So if I do a game during market hours, people will get mad at me. So we just go members only, as I don't want to disturb people. Remember, you guys, this year they're like, you're not stock market live. You're not doing stocks. If you talk about Jesus, if you talk about anything. So it will have to be members only. I mean, look at every candle today on the last 30 minutes. Kind of wild. And 5 minutes ago, Euro close. Oh, J-Row, thank you, man. You beat me to it. What about someone who comes in first place gets a FaceTime with me? No, okay, never mind now. Now, number one only gets free stream alerts. Now you lost the extra $100. Why? Because all you're doing is watching the fucking watch list. That's it. And paying attention for your own good. And me giving you information so that you will be prepared. That's all. That's all it is. You see what I'm saying? So for me to go over and give, like, I'm just giving stuff because I'm giving it away. But, you know, the real core of this, like even the questions last week, literally the questions last week, you would have made money off the watch list. Like there was 3 or 4 things that on Sunday night, if you watched the watch list and just knew the answer, you should have made money off of it. From gold's biggest move in history. Oh, you are getting your pop again. They're doing it. Ugh. Nah, Yanni, don't be mean. You know, I really like Jerry. Jerry's a good guy. He's been here for a while. But just in general, for everybody, I don't want it to. You know, this is kind of what happened last time, is that I start giving away money and shit. But, like, you guys have to realize, like, I'm doing it because I want to. Like, do you guys understand? Have I made a lot of money off YouTube recently? I have. Never before have I like that. But, you know, and you guys are like, do this, do that. I don't have to do any of that. I'm only doing what I want to do. You know, and I want to do the watch list. I want it to help people and have that. It's like I want to reward people for doing stuff, but at the end of the day, if you only want to participate because of like me giving away stuff, you might be missing the point, because it's really not about that. That's just, I think it should always be a fun element, but it's really about learning. It's about the education. It's about all this content. You know, I'm literally going through bank notes every weekend. I'm reading all of what these banks are doing, all of this shit from around the world, and I'm bringing it to you guys. And I love it. Believe me, it's a passion. But I would hate if all of our games kind of turned into, you know, again, this is why we stopped playing the games. People started cheating. I'm like, bro, I'll give you guys money to not be in the community if that's all you wanted. But you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we all want money. I want you to want money. You know what I'm saying? But I do want you to understand you don't get money without education and knowledge. That's the big thing. And if you lose sight of that and you lose sight of what everything we have is a tool. And if you think the tool only will equate to free money, you will miss out on things. So I don't think that's what he meant. And I'm not talking about whoever put out the comment. I'm just speaking in general now, because I'm like, yo, guys, just don't forget. And I hope I'm not making a mistake by giving away a bunch of money. As like I'm saying, I look back at it before and I'm like, I think I enabled people in the wrong way, and I think some people started getting involved for the wrong reasons. But, and really I'm just seeing it as rewarding the people who have already been locked in, but it shouldn't always be about that. All right? So, we don't have a game yet still, but 10 o'clock we will have a quiz. No end face. I don't like him. Hertz is going up. The one that got away. Amen, baby. It should. That's what I hope, man. I hope it does make you better. That's the amen. And smarter. And having tools, having stuff at your disposal is a great thing to have. TTD back to 50. I was just looking. The premiums are down. Those premiums are now 2 cents, 3 cents. So I literally sold them 1,000% higher on the last set. I have 10 of them still, 13. I had a lot. Because I wanted that for Netflix earnings. That's why I played it. Because I was like, okay, Netflix earnings sympathy. I was like, we'll play that ahead. And then it was just dirt cheap when I bought it. I bought it really, really cheap. And then, yeah, that's it. Rock, paper, scissors for each other's long terms? Oh, my goodness. Did you just say let's race for pink slips? That's crazy. Would you ever do that? Should we race? Do you guys want to challenge for pinks? Pink slip on your long term? Ooh. What's the longest you've held a stock? I still own Google from when I was 14 years old. It's not a lot. It is kind of, but yeah, I still own Google from when I was a child. Literally. Or maybe I was 15. How did I buy stocks at 15? I would wake up really early in the morning, and then I would take a Sharpie, and I would draw a mustache on my face, and then I would take my brother's shoes, and I would wear these big ass shoes, and then I would try to put extra socks in them so I look taller, and then I'd go to the bank. I'd say, "Hello, can I buy a stock? Give me the Google stock. I'm old man. Give me Google stock." It worked. No, that's not. I had an account. It was a custodial. It was technically my brother was my custodian, and that was it. But you should have known this. You got a 4-year badge. No, yeah, you had to be 18, but I did it under my brother. So you can make a custodial account or someone signs. Because my parents didn't. I swear they knew less English back then. Or they knew more English back then. But I don't, my parents, bros, are very, growing up Middle Eastern American, I was just thinking about this last night. It is one of the most unique experiences. I'm telling you. You're not black, you're not white, you're not Mexican. The cultures overlap, and then your culture and language is so different. How we behave as Middle Easterners, it's kind of funny because I'm saying, dude, even my parents, you guys have to realize it's very this is why I believe in God, bro, because I should not be doing what I am doing. This is not normal at all or typical. And to my parents were they thought this was just gambling, pure gambling, no matter what. Even after I made millions of dollars, it was still gambling. I don't think you guys get it. It's it's a weird concept for they're what do you mean? Buy cash. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So my parents, they knew, but my whole life it was like I would be like getting a philo about not gambling from my parents. Do you understand that? So if you think I'm annoying about reminding some of you guys and I'm like, hey, be smart, I'm at least telling you how to make money while being safe. You know, my parents were just like reprimanding me, telling me it's you're gambling, you're throwing your future away. Like, no, don't do that. Like my mom thought I was playing with the devil, like, like it was Vegas. Like they thought it was literally gambling. I had to explain it. But yeah, other than that, I started early, and thank God for my brother, because he was my American parent pretty much. There's no other way to put it. Like everyone thought he was my dad growing up, but I got to make an account through him. He signed it off for me. He did everything. And then back in my day, this is the OG Josh story. I used to be in class. I was 14 years old. I had a sidekick because I was hustling. I knew about Alibaba when I was that young. So back in the day, Alibaba, Craigslist, hustling, that shit existed, dog. Some of you won't. I knew about drop shipping when I knew about the stock market. You know that? Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. Nothing new under the sun. But I used to have to. You couldn't trade on a computer back then. Like you couldn't execute the trade on a mobile phone. It didn't the web browsers weren't ready for that, So if I ever wanted to buy a stock after I got to school, I had to call or text my brother. And I would say, go buy Staples, go buy Google at this price. I would tell him, put limit order this. And I would call him or text him. And then he would have to do it because he was at home. I was at school. He was unemployed. I think, or he was employed, but he would just, he would sleep in till 12. Nah, bro, legit OG stream alerts. Straight up. Did watching my parents lose everything in 2008 help you or hurt you? Both. I mean, I don't know if you guys, some of you know what it's like. I don't know if you ever lost everything or you're about to lose everything, dude. Really losing everything. Not oh, I blew up an account, I'll be back next week. I mean you're about to lose your house you live in. Hold on. High tickers starting to move a little aggressively. Zelensky says Ukraine evidence China supplying Russia with artillery. Yeah, I see the Zelensky comments too. I don't know if that's it. I just think it's all nonsense, bro. Either way, individual names. Even if you get tempted to play this, just go play Apple. You know what I'm saying? Just go find the individual stock that's moving. Yeah, bro. So you guys, I think some of you know. 2008 was bad, dude. It was really bad. That's why even now when I tell some of you guys, I'm more pain. When people freak out now, I'm you guys haven't seen pain. That's it. 2008 changed the world, bro. That was a bad time. Literally, I watched my dad and my mom lose everything. My dad had to go back and get a job. Do you know that? I watched my dad go from real estate, pastor, starts making money, missionary, to then he had to go and get a job. My dad had to clock in after 2008. From going from being a real estate broker to having to go and clock in and have a boss, my dad. That was crazy. So there was a lot of hard things that you had to see. And again, losing everything was just my parents went from, they got lucky in real estate. They didn't really know what they were doing. Everybody was just pulling out money, getting it. And then that's it. We were about to foreclose on our final home. We were on the 3-month window. Nobody knew. It was terrible. So it was like literally we were already past it. We were like 3 months away from getting kicked out. And then things just, they survived. I don't know how. I genuinely do not know how. So in a weird way, I think we avoided the like final death blow, but it was already very, very bad for my family. But I learned a lot. It was hard, and it changed how I viewed the world, because you were like, well, shit, it went from everybody was prosperous to like, nah, like, no, this is hard. Like, literally, bro, your dad is fucking working right now. Like, you better go clock in, bro. Like, if that fucks with you, and you're looking at the world very, very differently. That's why I would be, if we ever had deflation right now, or we had that's what would suck for some of you guys, is because some of you have only seen a world of prosperity. You know what I'm saying? That was that moment, and I was young, where prosperity was shattered. It wasn't this idea of like, oh yeah, you're gonna get a job, go do this, go do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was, it's kind of crazy. But a job is what radicalized you. I mean, I worked. That's why my first job, someone asked me, they're like, did you ever have a job? Like, did you ever work at a job? And I did. I worked at Foot Locker. I did a Foot Locker job at one point. And I remember, bro, it was because my mom told me, they made me, my parents, and especially my mom, she said, you're not going to make money on the internet. So my mom said, this online money stuff isn't real. So, like, any business, buying stuff from China, selling it, the stocks, anything I was doing on the internet, my mom said that's not going to last. You need to work a job, and you need to build your future. That's what my mom told me. So they made me get a job. I had no choice. I had to. They said, you're not living in this house. You got to go get a paycheck. So I'm like, all right, I'll get a job at Foot Locker. And I only got it because my brother knew somebody. Because, bro, at this time, getting a job at Foot Locker was a fucking blessing. Y'all don't feel me. That's how bad things were. That's why right now, you know how everybody talks about the job market? And they're like, oh, the labor market. Dude, the labor market is really strong right now. Most of you have not seen a weak labor market. You don't know what it's like, bro. Crazy. Because during that time, after like 2008 to 2010, even like 2011, bro, if you got a basic retail job, that was a blessing. They weren't handing those out, bro. You couldn't just like go and work retail and make minimum wage. That was hard. That was actually like, if you were lucky enough to get it, you were lucky enough to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I got this job at Foot Locker. Motherfuckers were like, don't blow it. Like, oh my gosh. They're like, you got hired? Like, you had a job, bro? Somebody was willing to pay you to work in this economy? It was crazy. So, yeah, that was my job. But, yeah, my parents lost everything. You learned a lot, and it was bad. But the good thing was that I got to see real estate. I got to see how things work. I got to look back. If my parents managed their leverage and they weren't like, foreigners who didn't understand things, and if my dad actually like prepared, they could have avoided all of it. That's something I really, really learned. Another thing I learned was that if they just withstood the pain for like an extra year, they would have been richer than ever. That's the other crazy part. So even then, although I saw some of the literally one of the worst real estate things ever in the world, real estate was literally how we bounced back. And then I just saw the strength of real estate through that whole moment, just because it seemed bad. But then, like, literally, if my parents didn't lose all those houses, I would have been rich off my parents, not off of me. What are y'all saying? That's crazy. Because again, my parents, they came from Egypt. They didn't have much money. Again, literal immigrants, had a bunch of kids. Like, dude, you have no idea. But they got lucky in real estate. My dad got in at the bubble, started doing it. They learned about cash out, refinance, buy a home, pull out the cash, reinvest it, buy a home, pull out the cash. That's everything you hear people talk about today. But this was back when it was first, like, with real estate. And then they amassed a lot, bro. My little ass Egyptian parents, at one point, bro, I remember I was like, whoa, like, my dad bought a BMW. That was a trip, dog. See, y'all don't get my life, some of y'all. I think some of you do, and I think others that are, like, new, bro, and, like, obviously you see my online persona, and yeah, I'm blessed now, bro, but I don't think you realize my dad buying a fucking BMW, bro, that was life-changing. That, like, changed, because, that again, we went from little poor immigrants to, I'm like, wait, we have money? You know, at one point, bro, I remember I was with my aunt at a Blockbuster. Yeah, we were at Blockbuster. And I wanted one of the gumballs from the machine. And I didn't have a quarter. And I cried because I wanted the gumball, but I was like, we're poor. I said, you get me? I'm a kid. And I'm crying because I want the gumball, but I know I can't ask for it because we're poor. Right? And then my aunt, she gives me the quarter. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, we don't have money. And she's like, shut up! She's like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, what? She's like, your parents do real estate. I'm like, what? And then I was like, oh. And then my dad got a BMW, and I was like, what? Because at that time, you were like, what the fuck? So again, but hear me out. Imagine, I don't imagine just going little immigrants, right? We think we're the poorest people ever, and like literally people let us know. And then all of a sudden, now my dad got a BMW and we got more than one house. You know what I'm saying? And now we're like, what? And then we lose all of it. So it's a trip, dude. That moment was like, there was a lot to learn. Don't go buy a BMW. You could lose it too. I learned that. I've never bought a BMW since. No, like, yeah, the fluke test. There's so many different things, but that's a lot of emotions, bro. You know, to go from having nothing to then thinking you have something. Oh, yeah, weed pop. U.S. Treasury has cautioned White House officials on attempts to fire Fed Reserve Chair. That's all I see. Remember, we had weed news earlier and it didn't move. And hurts. Blech. I've never owned a M, no. I've never owned any M BMW. I never had enough money. And then by the time I had enough money, I got an AMG like a real man. I'm just kidding. I just like talking shit about Beamers. MSOS, bipartisan lawmakers filed to end marijuana prohibition in legal states with Trump's stance. No, I like BMWs. I do like a Mercedes is my favorite car. All around, best car. From luxury to reliability and normalcy. I love a fucking Benz. But AMG over M any day. I used to love M. Believe me, when I was young, again, I was like BMW all the way. Bro, Mercedes is a good ass car, dude. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. I don't know if you want to hear this, but Mercedes is a fucking good ass car. Just a good car, dude. Yeah, Lexus and Mercedes, I don't think those cars are just great. Timeless. They're timeless and reliable, and they just drive. Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Point is, real estate, though. and you'll learn a lot. That's why I'm saying, man, wherever it happens, you're moving. Kind of big, bro. Everything's popping. Check currencies. That's a little aggressive. Premiums did not move. A little bit, 10%. No, it's a scam. Oh, I was getting excited because they moved it with the high ticker, but yeah, it's a scam. No. It's a scam. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's how everything has been this week on the SPY. But like individuals hit. Trump going live with Maloney soon. Okay, maybe we do got some. Estee Lauder, EL, L'Oreal sales. So L'Oreal just came out with earnings. Ooh, whoa. So hold on. L'Oreal expects global beauty to grow even amidst economic tensions. So L'Oreal just beat on earnings. So Estee Lauder's going up in sympathy. So that's why, I don't know, be careful on that one. It might have follow through, but the plays on L'Oreal, you can't, L'Oreal's foreign. But watch any cosmetic plays. Yeah, they're all going. That's a good sign. It's just like when Adidas reports and Nike moves, if you've never seen this before. So pretty much foreign makeup company, they report, they beat. Oh, I whiffed. Oh, I didn't think those were going to move. They already doubled. Nice. Whoever got those, whoever took those 3 centers. I was looking at that one. Oh, wait, but now the other ones. There's random $1 candles because low liquidity. It only takes $500,000. So, like, literally, if I wanted to, I could make this SPY go up 1 point. Or down. All I have to do is hit 500 grand, 600 grand order. That's it. That's nothing. It used to be 4 million. So typically it's like $4 to $4.2 million to try to move this SPY 1 point. Right now in this environment, you could do it with 600 grand. Why? I think because the uncertainty in the holiday. So Trump got people to delever. That takes out liquidity, right? You know, people aren't that, and then you're uncertain. And then add the holiday, people are already taken off. It's just plummeted. That's why I'm telling you, there's not like real money out there. So like any of these moves, there's not real money chasing real money. It's small amounts of money. There's way less dollars chasing way less dollars in the last couple of days. Lensky says Russia has decreased number of strikes on energy facilities. Sell in May. Remember, sell in May, it usually goes up. Yeah, Maloney, so we are going to have a catalyst. You're going to get Italy, Maloney, and Trump. And then again, Estee Lauder moved on L'Oreal. I think Nike's great right now. That's it. If I didn't already have more Nike than NVO, I probably would have bought Nike. But I got NVO instead. Yeah, Estee Lauder came back down. I didn't play it, but those hit for a little bit. And then Sport chilling. I was saying $53 or 55 was the price, but 53 I think is the bottom. DJT still going. The VIX Valdo. What up, baby? Oh, I forgot to ask you guys. Hey, anybody listening out there? If you don't know, my name is Josh. They call me the world's greatest salesman. So as the world's greatest salesman, I just want to ask you nicely and kindly if you could please buy a membership. Why, you ask? Because you'll be able to play the game we're going to do today. and you'll get everything else that you might have missed. But I just want you to do it because it works. Every time I ask, somebody has bought one. So I'm going to keep doing it until the day it stops. Maybe that's today. No one's bought one yet. But either way, I appreciate you no matter what. And remember, it's not easy feeding 17 personalities. Yo, Big Pop, again, jeez, loves you. Hold on. Currencies are moving. Okay, that one might be real, boys. Just be careful, though. Be very, very careful. Oh, shit. Okay, it's working. Trump says he's very confident on trade deal with EU. Yep. Told you that one looked a little realer. Yeah, Trump comment. EU deal. He just said something positive, so don't get too jumpy. Okay, they're already coming down. Might have been a fade. I like it, though. Some of the premiums worked. I grabbed a very, very small one. Trump responds to reporter's question on EU trade talks. Yeah, so Trump is talking right now. Oh, Sammy, Lad, Roy, Caesar, Ricky. Let's go. And you got a job. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Amen. All right, they already killed premiums. That's crazy. The premiums are moving 10% on every little up and down. Oil rises as Trump says EU trade deal possible. So that's the headline. Trump is doing an interview right now where it's probably going to come live in 30 minutes, EU Maloney. But they asked him about an EU trade deal, and he just responded positively. So it does sound like a generic comment, but in a world where we want a headline in a trade deal and no liquidity, motherfuckers are reacting to that. Yeah, they're going up still. Very fascinating. I'm going to just try to get a free one and then dip. That is my plan. A little bit more. Wait for it. All right. Beautiful. And I'm out. That's it. 60%. I just made it free. I just got one free one. That's all. That's it. You heard it here first. That one worked. Okay, again, you guys heard it. I even said that one might be real. That's why I went and I did the currency check. But that's why I was like, yeah, wait, Swiss franc is fucking moving. So I'm glad we got some of that. But plays are up 60 now. Actually, it came down 10%. But yeah, they went up 60 for a brief second there on that top candle. You're letting it run. Make it free, though. Today's hella scammy. Like I said, I don't like this SPY. It hasn't hit the TV yet either. Yeah, and you're going to hear him, too. So there's rumors going to hit, and then whatever other comments, and then that's it. So in theory, a big news can cause an unthinkable move. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I covered it in the morning. I showed all these charts, and although today was an expiration, I was mentioning that there's some very unique factors that might play out a little differently, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. All right, you're running off that, baby. We got it. Money. That's it. I only got a free one, but we hit it early. We've hit another 1,000%. Today's good. Today is not bad at all. So GG's if you got that. Now they're talking about it.
With very little clarity
Yep.
on what the White
Hitting
House
Bloomberg
needs
now.
to see in order to get a deal
Okay,
done.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Our understanding is Maloney is coordinating
Follow me
very
on
closely
Instagram
with
at the
European
Trading
Union
Fraternity.
leaders about
Thank you
the
to the
way
new
forward
members,
here, and
baby.
actually
I
will
appreciate
propose to
y'all.
President Trump eliminating all tariffs on bilateral trade between the EU and the U.S., essentially creating a free trade zone. Remains to be seen if that's really something that this White House would entertain. We know, for example, that they're likely going to push boosting energy imports into Europe, particularly when it comes to U.S. LNG. Also, defense is likely to come up as this White House tries to push our allies to boost their NATO defense spending. In particular, we'll have to see if Maloney has any luck, Vonnie, but she will actually get a second chance this weekend when she's expected to host Vice President J.D. Vance in Rome.
Yes, a lot of meetings happening, Tyler. That's Tyler Kendall there, our Washington correspondent. I just want to mention that President Trump has been responding to reporters' questions on EU trade talks, and he said he's very confident on an EU deal with the United States. Coming up, Huntington Bank reporting strong earnings this morning. CFO Zach Wasserman joins us next. This is Bloomberg.
It's every municipal bond investor's dream. A bright, shining city on a hill. A place where there won't be any economic, financial, or...
They boomers. Stop it. All right, came back down. Play is still... Nope, down. Play is down. Uh-oh, hot dog. Said, Muni's, do you have dreams? I know, bro. My ads are funny, but no, I'm not gonna lie, it worked though. Remember the other day when I posted that Lambo and I was like, damn, I want that Lambo. That was a fucking ad. You know that? All of a sudden it just went whoop. I stream alerted the news on there, but I flipped the play in and out before. That's it. I just got them early and then I made it free before even it hit. That's why if you were listening, I just said that one was real though. I could tell for a second just because the currencies, but it's already fading. But I think Trump now, we're going to get a little bit more. It could reverse. But you should have got the news stream alert on that one. That was just too quick. Trump says U.S. and Italy have very good relationship. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, bro. Someone bought my Boeings. That's weird. Watch Boeing. Remember, I had a bunch of free cheap ones, and I had those 1 cent ones. Trump says we're going to make a trade deal. So I had the Boeing plays at 1 penny. I made them free earlier in the week, and then I had the rest of them just sitting there, right? So I put in an order today at 2 pennies, 100%. That just got filled, all of them. So somebody just bought daily out-of-the-money Boeings for no damn reason. Trump moving along trade very well. Is he live? I'm getting more comments. And now you're dumping. No, he's not live yet. Bro. No, I sold Boeing. Everybody's on my priority list. We're going to make fair deals. Trump said. Trump expect to make an announcement about trade deals, but in no rush. That's your red candle. The no rush. Yeah. People don't like it. They want a rush, you know? We'll end up with substantial number for baseline. Okay, now it's starting to sound, again, higher baseline, not good. No rush, not good. Trade deal with EU, good. Okay, we're up. Boeing? No. No. Trump, we will have a deal with China. The plays are still down from earlier, 10%. They don't have the same 60. He just said we'll have a deal with China. Whoa, fuck. Oh, they just jacked them. Bro, the premiums are tweaking. They're literally moving 20%. Oh, I got to go to the tomorrows. So again, he just said deal with China. But again, these are all generic ass comments. Do you guys understand? Trump, no rush, we'll have baseline. But, like, that's why I'm like, yeah, obviously they sound good, but these are what he always says. Yeah, you got to go to next week. They're a little bit more. You could go with the dailies. They're just intense. Like I'm saying, I already got a free one, but I was trying to get that other one, and then it just fucking popped and then just came right back down. Trump, NATO defense spending will go up. Oh, you're right. NVIDIA might be a better play if you want to go individual. If what he's saying actually has weight. Maloney says, I'm sure we could make a deal. Remember, Maloney is in the EU. All right, I'm going to grab one to flip. You got to be careful on that. You got to get in and out. Nope, they already killed him. Ugh. Yeah, I do not like these. There's even a spread on the fucking SPY tomorrows. All right, they're popping out. Hold on, I'm going to get out of them soon, though. Jeez, dude. Watch Boeing and Baba and the other one. I can't believe Boeing. That was the fucking scam. The background noise is in front of the White House. Okay. Trump live on CNBC. Oh, yeah. Why are they playing that? Yep, I got it.
That every one of us has,
good call.
And find ourselves in the middle. That's useful for all.
Trump, we have very little problem making deal with Europe. That's good.
Western nationalism. I don't know if it is the right word, but I'm sure that together we are stronger. And I have to find a way. I'm here to find the best way to make us both stronger on the two shores of the Atlantic.
On Jerome Powell. We're going to have very little problem making a deal with Europe or anybody else because we have something that everybody wants. You know what that means, right? We have something that everybody wants. We're going to have very little problem. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. We'll be right there in the Oval Office. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Okay, we're going to get another one. That was very weird. Right when he went live, he ended it. Yeah. And then there's going to be another one coming on. I got out of that little quick flip. Be careful. I like Homeboy's idea. Either go NVIDIA or Apple. Fuck the SPY. I hit him. I just hit two of them, but that was tough. I do not like them at all. But I do think if we are going to get any like real move here, you got to identify like a real winner. It could be Tesla maybe, but or even oil. But that Boeing's weird. Like I told you, someone bought my dog shit contracts, and then it starts moving. But now we're waiting for Trump. Like I just said, I even streamed alerted it. I just said, you might want to be on stream right now just because some of these might happen faster than anything. But I'm still very skeptical of this SPY, and I think you should be too. You have very, very low liquidity right now. We are getting news, but this will be like our final event of the day pretty much, is that whatever Trump says, and then we're going to go back to this little, weird vibe of low liquidity. What maybe. I do. Individuals are working. So I haven't had a problem with stocks this week. If I go on an individual, my options are great. But the SPY, that's tough, bro. I just hit that. That just went 60%, then back down to down 10. Now it's back up. I just flipped another one. I only got like 5%, but then there's a fucking spread on SPY dailies. Like, what? Okay, you're going round two. Okay, you're moving. Okay, there's the break. All of those would have hit. I still got one free one. I'm going with NVIDIA. I'm going to flip them all. The other SPY plays back up to 60 now. First free one is up at 60. I'm doing NVIDIA instead. Because like I say, I don't like the SPY. It's really, really hard still. even if we're getting this, and then whatever Trump comments, that'll be the next one. All right. That's it. I'm going to just take that one, chill. I'm not going to hold this play over the weekend. So I'm just going to use NVIDIA to flip the SPY instead. So you can underperform. The risk is that the SPY moves on Trump and then NVIDIA doesn't do shit, then which could happen. We've watched that, all year. So that is my idea. Oh, MSTR. Yeah, Chad had that one earlier. That could be another one. That one scammed me, bro. If I held those contracts in the beginning of the week, we'd be $11 in the money off like a 20-cent contract. So individuals, good time. Good time with those. That's why I'm like, nah, I'm not liking this spot. But the other ones are still up. High ticker running again. You might go round 2. This is everybody but the big tech, low key. So let's see. But SPY is a runner-rooney. There's Apple too. Oh, Meta a little bit. Okay, even spreads are widening on NVIDIA now. Interesting. Yeah, other SPY plays up 70. But those, you have to get those on the first round here, on the first Trump comment. I don't know if SPY will make a daily high. I just don't trust the SPY. That's it. And I know we got Powell, we got Trump right around the corner. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled for that. But other than that, though, I'm not really expecting anything no certainty today. And I don't think you should have any too. And you'll be safe. Yeah, bro, that Boeing, weird. High ticker's still going, though. You got a lot moving. CLX. Yeah. Staples are still up. They led. All right, not bad. Yeah, you're waiting for Trump-Rooney now again. You'll lose 15%. So if those NVIDIAs come back, it'll pretty much all of them are like 15% off the bottom, which isn't too bad. Because again, you still got exposure here, but the other one is there. No, not a daily. I would stay away from the dailies. Honestly, I hit a daily today, but if you get like individual news, you could go with the daily if it's cheap enough. But I'm just saying right now, playing the Trump headlines, I would just be a little cautious. DKS on the high. Didn't they have a bad earnings? S&P rises to session high. DKS is expensive. Ghetto spread of this SPY. Nice. I like it. I made mine free. I just made mine free right away. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't liking it. We got a good jump, though. I'm glad we recognized that one was real early. You know, again, we knew because everything was a pump fake, and then that one actually hit. Deck. Bro, all of these companies. Deckers and Dick's Sporting Goods. Both of them mad expensive. When does Deckers have earnings? Am I on the right company? Okay, you're moving up again. All right. High ticker's going. I know low ticker stopped. You have an interesting set moving, though. So take it as you can. Nvidia's going. The premiums are climbing just a little bit. Other one's still up 50. Abivai now. It's so... Look at how much movement. I feel like the SPY hasn't moved, though. But it is climbing gradually. 5307. This is actually a level. 5307 is pretty big. Because we get above here, this could open us up about 30 points. 5337 is the next one. So if that don't hold, I mean... hot dog. Hey, those SPYs are still up 37. So again, you're paying a premium from when the news first dropped. I'll tell you when they come down. Oh, no, that's the wrong company. It was just the wrong company. I made another play, but I put the other one because there's two moving in tandem. There's a cheap one somewhere I got. Disney. Okay, SPY. You're green on this SPY. I mean, I guess we have been all day. Didn't really feel like it, but now you're hitting to the high. Disney's breaking out 3. Yeah, and I bought NVO for the long term today. We finally added to it. USD JPY. I haven't got anything yet, but we are waiting on Donald again with Maloney. And that's what caused everything. Donald Trump, Maloney talks. He started saying trade deal with Europe and then China and all these other things. And then here we are. Other SPY plays still up, bro. Etsy, CLS, I keep seeing. The video won't move, but SPY's up there. I like what I did. Like I'm saying, my NVIDIAs are climbing gradually, but you would have got torn apart on this move on any short-term SPY, but then just NVIDIA just ain't do shit. That's it. The long-term ad was NVO. I put one of the 3-4 deposits I had saved, and I put it into NVO. Just one. One deposit. Now I have 100 shares total. Alrighty. Yeah, Disney's on the high too. Dollar Tree, we should have held it. SPY new high. Even Dollar General now. Everything, bro. It's still nonstop. I can't remember the last time the low ticker even moved. So yeah, a lot of things are starting to go. We're getting at 75%. The SPY premiums are slowing down. The NVIDIAs are barely moving, so not too crazy. You're not really missing out on much. That's the thing. It feels like a lot's going on, but I assure you, you're not missing out on much. Unless you grab this, then that's it. The first move, you missed out on 60, 70%, but all these little moves, it feels like, nothing's happening. I'm saying my NVIDIA's up 2%. I'm alive. 2 months, yeah. Well, dude, I'm glad you got a job, bro. I'd love to hear it, man. I saw your other comment. Market started moving fucking nuts. But, dude, good work, man. And make sure 10%, large earning, and we going to turn it to a crib, baby. Sky willing. Gasparino tweet. Oh, I could only imagine. I could only imagine when the spy stops scamming. I could only imagine. Levered ETF swings? I have before. I mean, I haven't done it recently, but yeah, I've done some strangles too, but definitely. GCR, righty. Eli Lilly's still up. Very jumpy on the footprint. I mean, it is the level. It's very important. 5307. And then it gives you some upside. Like I said, it could give you up to 30 points of upside, or it stops. Trump, any moment now. He was just live. White House officials saying not to expect a EU trade deal today. So they're already like kind of, I think they have to walk it back. I didn't think they needed to. I think you're reacting to a lot. But yeah, CNBC, they're saying that the White House says no trade deal on Europe today.
Deal.
I didn't think people got the impression it was today, but I don't know why they're walking that back.
And however long.
And then Scott Bessent, Japan talks moving in a highly satisfactory direction.
But that's the thing, right? What's the point that we get to a deal? The longer it goes on, the more damage is done. So I agree with you.
That's part of the issue.
That's the hard part, though. Is it 2 weeks?
That's
is
what
it a year?
potentially Chair Powell's going to be left to,
right. You can't guess to that.
Josh?
The market is no longer worried about whether or not we're going to have a deal. Of course we're going to have a deal. Donald Trump's rating on the economy last week just hit its lowest level ever. Not his rating period, not his rating on immigration, not his rating on how he talks. His rating on the economy hit the lowest level ever. Of course there's a deal. Everybody knows there's a deal. If we didn't think there was a deal, the S&P would be at 15 times earnings, would be at 3,800 right now. So what we're really talking about is the damage done anyway? Does it no longer matter? Because this all started at record high earnings, record low unemployment.
That's the point I've made.
It's hard to picture us getting those two things back to where they were.
Again, you have Bessent talking now too.
Right now, he doesn't have to get rid of Powell.
Jeez, bro, what a day!
It's unnecessary. Kevin Warsh.
And you got an IPO?
Fed chair in waiting. Everybody knows this. He was almost the Fed chair in 2017. Just so people understand, Kevin Warsh was on the Fed from 2006 to 2011. He's married to Jane Lauder. Jane Lauder is Ron Lauder's daughter of Estee Lauder. That's Donald Trump's best friend. What he wants in this role is a loyalist who will do exactly what he thinks needs to be done. And I actually think Trump is right. This economy is not a 4.5% Fed funds rate economy. It just isn't. And I think this business with the 10-year
fucking Josh Brown
and capital flight and blah, 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 I think it's a huge head fake. I think rates need to be lower. Financial conditions are too tight. And I worry, Scott, like you do, that the damage is already done. It's now 4 weeks of incredible uncertainty.
Sadly, the only people we should listen to is Elizabeth
Warren.
Warren.
Deal, the NASDAQ will rally 6%. Then what? Now you're still facing potentially a cyclical recession.
Steve, I got to take a break, but I'll give you the last word on all this.
I hope you guys are right that there is a deal. It's a good deal for the U.S. economy. I think that the idea that onshoring
I don't know, bro.
is...
This is really weird because, like I'm telling you, we got this news first. We were talking about it. We made our play, but all these motherfuckers are talking like this shit is a deal. You get what I'm saying? I just think Trump was saying what he always says, and it's good to hear, but Why are they talking like this motherfucker just put an EU trade deal on the table? I don't think he did. I think it's the same situation. We're working with countries. Everybody, they'll all make a deal. Let's make a deal. Come on. We're welcome. But it's just like, I did not get that. I did not think that was going to be the vibe when I turned on the TV. I did not think they were going to be all. So they're running ahead of it too. You see what I'm saying? The small bad things happen. They blow it out of proportion. You get one positive phrase. They're blowing this one out of proportion too. So I'm down. I mean, you can still make money. We already got our plays on it, but just be careful. You know, they were just saying head fake, but like be careful though. I don't know. I don't think I'd rather underperform it in the sense of if Trump really is going to put a deal on the table, great. But I'm not expecting it to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, I did not get that vibe that they're talking. That's all I'm saying. I didn't think there's a weekend deal or something like that. And they're talking like there is. Yeah, the Nvidias went up a little bit. You got like just under 10%. Not bad. Nice. Yeah, another $1. It's beautiful. I didn't know the other guy was with Estee Lauder, Kevin Warsh. I didn't know that. All right. So again, SPY's still holding, but I think we got to hear from Trump. But like, there's weird talks going around now. That's it. I mean, people are just talking like Trump really. I think he just said it like he always says it, but the way they're talking about it is like this motherfucker is talking deal. I mean, Maloney is a part of the EU, but still. Very interesting. I was done after this SPY. I only got my Nvidia. That's it. I'm good with that. The other SPY play is up 50, but that's what I was saying. That sucks. So it was up 70 at max. I made it free at 60 on the first minute. So even then, like, it's still like kind of like paused out. You know what I'm saying? TBT. Bonds are getting destroyed right now. So that didn't help with any of that. Well, the Japan deal is like moving slow. Talks, well, I think people want one. That's what I was saying yet today about yesterday. There was good China news last night. I think it sounded like they were communicating just unofficially. So, but other than that, we're just right now Maloney in EU. That's what in Italy. That's kind of the recent one that's developing right now before our eyes. But I think people are overestimating that. Other than that, Japan already met. We had a headline on Japan, and we're going to get a little bit more on the results of that. And then China, good news yesterday. Still, though, generally a negative situation. Theory, they agreed on deals, but also agreed to keep it secret so U.S. can announce it. Ooh, I like. I think you're closer than further. NVO is value and growth. I think it's more of a growth play because this NVO is one of the only plays that I've bought that's like, it's not at a 2018 level. So it's kind of a mix of both, but I actually view it as a growth stock despite the 2% dividend. TikTok battle just is China. I think Trump ramped up all this pressure to get TikTok and other things, but China's not willing to work. And where's this TikTok deal? You don't know if it's fake. You've seen a lot of videos of factories in China closing down. Yeah, well, they already did prior, but you know those videos going around of everybody exposing the factories? I told you guys this yesterday. I just thought about it again because I'm like, wait a minute. The young generation of like TikTok shop kids, I don't think they've realized or they haven't learned that Chinese factory owners usually lie. So I think they're going to have to learn it the hard way. Because you keep seeing all these videos and they're like, so-and-so works in the factory and he makes all of these purses for Hermes. And like they show him making a knockoff Birkin. And like these people are really starting to believe. They're like, oh my gosh, it's the Hermes factory. Oh my, and then you buy it and then you're going to order it and then it's going to come and then you're going to realize the quality. It's just a lie. Yeah, it's not. That's why I'm like, I just really think this is elaborate China marketing in a really, really weird way. Well, yeah, no, bro, because you got young kids who are like 18 to 25 and they're just like, oh yeah, oh my God, China. Oh my God, Donald Trump. They're like, look, you could have just bought it from the factory. This guy says he makes them all. I saw a video of this guy, they're selling like fake G-Wagons. Have you ever seen the fake cars on Alibaba? Like, you know they have them? They have like fake cars, like fake Rolls Royces and all of that, right? So you hit them up. There's a fake G-Wagon. And you ask the guy and you're like, "Hey, can you send me pictures?" He'll say, "Contact me on WhatsApp." And then you contact them back and say, "Send me pictures." And they say G-Wagon, $5,000. Because what they're selling you is like these fake ass go-kart things, right? And then they message you back a picture of an actual G-Wagon. No. Bro, they just lie. I learned this when I was 15 years old. When I try to buy shit off of factories and they're like, "Oh yeah, we work with this company, we work with Nike, Katy Perry is our client." And you're like, oh, if you're gullible and young, you don't understand it. But once you've dealt with the business, you'll be like, oh. Because then they'll send you a picture of a real G-Wagon. And then you ask them and you say, what are the stats? Like, give me the specs. They literally send you the specs of a real G-Wagon. V8, 463 horsepower. It's the funniest shit ever. So yeah, this is what it's always been like. But let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Whoa, dumping. Okay, that flipped. I mean, NVIDIA is actually coming. It's higher than where we got our play, but SPY's now dropping, and then premium's up only 15% on that last free one. Yeah, look. I found one. Even while look at EU weighs export. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. These are going to be tough. EU weighs export restrictions on U.S. if trade negotiations fail. So EU is putting out a statement now. If they fail. That's both good and bad. This could kind of be the one to, calm it down. But then again, that does sound negative. But there's your first negative comment now in all of this. But EU saying that they will weigh export restrictions if trade negotiations fail. The play's already jacked up. But you might be able to if people get that and react, but I still think we're going to have Trump. So for 11,000, this is the fake G-Wagon. Oh, they don't show the other ones. Yeah, look. They have all these. But that's the thing. They put fake pictures, and then it's going to be like a weird, janky-looking golf cart when you get it. Okay, literally bad comment now. See if this develops or not. Premiums have gone up like 30% from the bottom. Still down on the day, but from pretty much here to here, that's a 30% premium move. And then we have not heard from Trump yet again after the first set. Yeah, you need a good old Trump pump or something around here.
Positive for net interest income for all the banks, whether it's a custody bank like State Street, a regional bank like Fifth Third, or a money center bank like Bank America. So I think that's what investors are now realizing, that the first derivative or the first order of impact from tariffs is not in the banking business. There is a second order impact, what happens to their customers, but this could be a sector that people may choose to hide out in during this uncertainty.
For sure, yeah, and they're taking care of their investors for the most part too. But beyond what they have in common, Gerard, some of them are also trying to execute their own strategies, right? Let's take Citi as an example. How's it going? It seems like it's such a complex turnaround story, and it's going to be 2 years before it hits its metrics. Will investors wait?
I think investors certainly from quarter to quarter will trade around the Citi story because of
I don't see Trump on
where it trades
CNBC
relative to book value. But under the leadership of Jane Fraser, she has a plan in place. She's executing on the plan, and she's done it in a period where the geopolitical environment has been very volatile, as we all know. And so I think people do give her credit for that. But that being said, they're not finished with it. They're not at their goals yet, as you know, on return on tangible common equity. They still need to execute. And at the same time, like others, they have excess capital. If the regulatory environment eases up, as we expect it will, that will free up more capital for Citi and others to buy back their stock.
Yeah, for sure. And then if we move across to Goldman Sachs, it's also a little less levered than it has been in the past. Does it change that story? Does it reward investors in a different way?
It's interesting because Goldman is obviously one of the preeminent global investment banks. They had a very strong quarter in trading, like other investment banks, particularly equity trading. But what's fascinating about Goldman is that when you look at the return to shareholders, they have been very good at returning excess capital. Believe it or not, they've reduced their share count from a high in the first quarter of 2010 to today by over 45%. They steadily increased their dividends. And now they announced a very large buyback of $40 billion. So you have two things going for you. You've got the capital markets business. Now, granted, the investment banking is a little unnerving right now because of the uncertainty. But at the same time, you've got a company that's committed to rewarding shareholders with higher dividends and more share repurchases. And that's what makes them somewhat unique compared to some of their peers.
Investors paying a premium, you could argue for that, I suppose, though, Gerard. They are refocusing kind of on their investment banking business, as you said, and really trying to maximize that. Is it possible in this environment? Will they be able to execute their plan, their strategic goals?
It is the $64,000 question for Goldman as well as its peers.
I know we're still at opening price. Isn't that crazy?
We're asking ourselves: is the activity delayed, or is it been derailed because of these uncertain times? Most, if not all, of the investment banks have pointed to strong backlogs in their advisory and ECM business. That's the equity capital markets area, particularly with IPOs. And so this volatility in the marketplace is very good for trading, but obviously not very good for IPOs or for advisory. So we need to see the markets settle down a bit. We need to see better clarity with what's coming out of Washington on the economic front with tariffs, and possibly later in this year, second half of the year, the investment banking business really does come back, since there's quite a bit of pent-up demand from what the investment banks are telling us.
Well, and so that brings us to JP Morgan, right, Gerard? It's been sort of the dominant bank.
You guys know you have Netflix earnings too? NVIDIA is climbing. So NVIDIA is lagging, but little by those plays are still up. That's what I was saying. I'm going to go in NVIDIA versus the SPY. You would have been chopped up on the SPY. It doesn't make sense. That's why even on the short, even if you took an extra day. So we'll see. Donald Trump live. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
That's the old one. No, he's not live yet. It's okay, guys. Y'all jumpy. Jumpy. I don't see him. I mean, it sucks because if the bonds, if they get too bad here, I mean, nah, you got a little cushion, but we might, remember, once you start getting here, you're in the danger zone. So that is still, I do think the bonds aren't reacting as normal. If Netflix, probably Josh Brown. Someone in the chat just said he's talking about it. Yeah, remember, they have earnings after the bell.
Costs the same amount as a single IMAX ticket in major markets for 2 hours, or 1/5 of the average price of a single Live Nation ticket for a 2-hour concert. So the bang for your buck, entertainment-wise, that you get with a premium Netflix subscription is head and shoulders better than what you're getting from anything else you could spend money on. And people don't let go of these smaller luxuries. They keep going to Starbucks. We've seen that through multiple recessions. And they don't drop Netflix. So I don't know if that means the next 50 points are up or down. I think this stock will outperform most if we have an outright recession.
Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're talking gold because a new name related to it has just popped up on Josh's best stocks in the market list. We reveal it next.
I'm Josh. Nice to meet you. Hey, man. I'd like Netflix a lot. I don't know if I'm going to play it on earnings. You should have played it prior because it was only pricing in 5, and then it made the 5% move the day before. But either way, okay, you're moving back up. Bro, it sucks because someone's just saying you did all of this to be at open. I think I'm giving you good advice here. The SPY is going to chop you up, bro. So individuals are fine. I don't see any problem with them. They have been, so I would just pick your name you want and then start riding away, my friend. Mattel, only a 4-cent pop. See if that gets bigger. I already played TTD, so I already made mine like majorly free. That was a big hit. We did very good on TTD. If you want to play it still, you can, but I already got my money. I have some contracts, but they expire, so I don't know if I'm going to add to them. XLE, again, energy. There's Apple. That was the other one you could have taken instead of NVIDIA. Okay. So here's the deal. I'll tell you my play. My play was a NVIDIA 103 call. I'm telling you because Chads keep posting it, and I have to ban them now. Why am I banning you? Because you guys should have said this literally 10 minutes ago. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I even told you guys I'm going for NVIDIA too. I think I gave you some good guidance there, but yeah. So, yeah, that's my play. Got you, bro. They're already up, just under 10%. I like Google, but I need it a lot lower. I did next week on NVIDIA, yeah. That's what I'm saying. People even saying new dailies, be very careful. That wasn't the idea. But I see people trying to circumvent it, but now they're telling you a worse play after it's already up. So, Beyond, are we about to get a crazy fake meat candle? A little bit, 4-cent pop. Okay, bonds 2 on the bottom, but let's see. You're right near the high. You are above the 5307. Like I'm saying, if we could hold above here, technically 5333 or 5337, that's kind of where we should settle at. All right. We haven't heard from Trump yet. We're going to, but we still have not. talk about AREC. I think AREC's a little scammy, bro. That's why I've ignored it. And we already made the play on the idea. So I made TMCs, and those are still up over 100% all week. But all the material plays move the same. But just be careful. I think a lot of those are kind of late now. Hood is popping. Yeah, good call. They just got a decent candle. SPY breaking out. There is Apple. Even fucking bonds want to play along now. So there you have it. There you have it. Dude, Dollar Tree. That was another sell early whiff, bro. MPW's climbing now. All of them. MP dying now. Materials. Whoa, materials. MP. Oh, I'm too slow. Fuck. I think I'm too slow. All right, I grab one. I spent $10. Downside. Downside on that. I'll make them free if they catch a bid. Yeah, MP, I don't know what it is. They just flush, though. So watch all of those material plays. I just are just talking about them. I think they're all moving like that. Yeah. So be careful. Yeah, I already made mine 100%. So literally 200 now, but okay, bid dropped. Yeah, 100% on the bid. I'm already out. I only got one left now. It was a daily. We just caught it early. Halts rare earth shipments to China. Oh, wow. Okay. 300%. Damn. I didn't even know it was a China headline. Yeah. I'm going to hold that last one, but it already went up 100%. But now it's bouncing. Blech. Yeah, Netflix. Again, Josh Brown just pumped it. Right, you would think that would be bad for the market, but market seems to be ignoring it. Damn, those other SPY plays up 80 still. The NVIDIA's moved again. It's like 10, 12%. Not anything crazy, but so you got less on individuals. You just don't get any of that. Not bad. The MP is still tweaking. I'm looking at the premium. Saudi Defense Minister Iran presented discussed ties. Where's Trump? Trump. I don't know where he's at. He should be on, though, but they delaying. STX options always suck on that. All right. Well, let's just see if it rides, but I think it's going to still be weird up until we get our boy. But let me make sure it's ready to go. I think it might be time because we should just go early, because then if we go early, we could play the game and we could get a philo in. But I still don't have a game. I just have a quiz. So I think I might just only have to give you guys money today. Unless we play checkers or something. Trump, we already had comments. That's where all this came from. With the Maloney and Trump thing, he made some statements in passing about an EU trade deal, and I do think the market got a little too jumpy on that. I hope you guys see it on both sides. Even yesterday, I was telling you the market got way too jumpy on Powell to the downside. I even see them getting way too jumpy to the upside right now because I think he just made a comment in passing, and then the mother effers they were like, trade deal with Europe today, this weekend. Oh, my God. And I'm like, I don't think he said that, but yeah. And that's where we're at now. But there is one more that we are waiting on. We are waiting to hear from your boy Trump with your girl Maloney, or Elon's girl, I guess. Baker Hughes rig count. Oh, maybe we could run it and then set up the winners for another day. You know, that might work, actually. I like it. I actually really like that. Worst case scenario, the top 3, you guys will be ready for a game for next week or whenever we do it. Okay, NVIDIA moved a little. SPY still up 80. I might go live tomorrow if you guys want to hang out. I'm going somewhere really cool. So my friend, he's trying to I always told him I'd be down to buy this house. And he was like, just stay at it. And I was like, okay. So I'm going to go to my friend's house. He has a really crazy house. So he gave it to me for the weekend. So I'm definitely down to go live because it's his house. So if you come to shoot me, you could deal with him. So, yeah, I might be down. Have your subscriptions and your stream alerts on. Ah! MP 400%. I only got one. I didn't do it like last time, though. Remember, I sold that fucking last Hertz. That would have made me $3,000 or something, but whatever. But, yeah, I still got the MP. I hesitated on the MP. I didn't really want it, but I was like, fuck it, it's cheap. And then I went way, way smaller. But then now, yeah, it's up 500% on the fucking bid. Yeah, those hit. GG's, bro. I did not think we were going to have hitters today, bro. But we actually did. We had a lot. Elevance, TTD, and now that. And then even the SPY Daily fucking hit. Jeez. Okay, you're coming down now. That's just the SPY. Not everything moved with it. Shooter at FSU. That's not good. Yeah, MP's still going. News hitting on other places now. It's crazy. 800% now. Just on the, man, fuck them. Because I want to sell it just to get 1,000%, but. And then again, for those of you who are asking, remember they asked me why I only play calls? That one was a put. So that was news. We got it early, spotted it quicker, but that was a put. Sold early again. I still got one. So I made my 100% free right away. And then I got one that's up 800% now. Oh, today's the Trump coin unlock? Yeah, I mean, it's already dead. So I think that era is kind of just, yeah. I think the liquidity is dry. And, dude, Solana is taking a beating. Not like the coin itself, but it's not what it was 3 months ago. 1, 2. How many questions? I think I only have 15 questions. Reeks of NFT aura? No. That's so sad. Because that's, like, actually kind of right. It's disgusting. China's EHang to launch air taxi this year. Isn't that EH? No reaction. Watch out for that. I feel like those are the headlines that randomly, all you need is a couple of pumpers to take that, and then it goes. I'm not going to play it, but EHang. Never give up my identity. All right. Good advice. Thank you. Well, I think what we do with the winners, ever quote, we either find a bullshit game to play, or you could save your ticket for another game that we could do for big money. Because if I don't have a good game idea, I'm not going to put a lot of money on it. But yeah, again, just short week. I totally forgot because I'm not even done with my. I want to add questions, but I already had 15. Red light, green light. Yo, that's wicked. That'd be kind of dope. All right. Well, Chatadonia, God bless America. God bless the veterans. And God bless the Chad, you know? For real, man. Shout out to Chad. I love y'all. Let's have a good Friday, Junior. But now, I think our time is coming to a close. So, if you do not want to play a game, if you don't want to talk about Jesus, if you don't want to have fun with the boys, like, you know what I'm saying? There's just like, this may not even be a moment for you, you know, but if you actually enjoy the people here and you want to kind of chill with a little bit of stocks on the side, you know, we could still get them on the side. That's what we've been doing. Trump is going to talk, but I'm not going to sit around and wait. We're going to move to Philo. I have a watch list quiz for some money if you guys want to play. And then if Trump goes on, I'll put him on. But till then, we will be on Philo. So you will need a membership. Even if Trump does come on, we're going to stay on members only. But I'll be back around Power Hour. And other than that, have a great long weekend if I don't see you. The market is closed tomorrow. And God bless America. Shout out to the vets. So I love you all. See you in a little, and peace.